Yes.
Let's do this. I believe we are on. Who could tell? There's such a delay.
Yeah, there's a big
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mind Beyond Matter, the Mandela Effect with Suso and Armor Up is my guest tonight. There we go. It worked.
thing.
Let
I
me
see
get
us
back
live.
one here. Lower this one. Get rid of the echo. I'll get this down. Not a problem.
Rookies.
There he is. There he is. It's not a icon.
It's not an icon, it's me. It's a little dark, but hey, it's me.
That's good. That's good. Who we got in here? We got Brian Stavely, Northeast native. I see Glenn Matthews.
Yeah.
Glenn Matthews. My bad.
Well, I better put my reading glasses on. Won't be able to see the chat.
I got a lot I want to talk about with you, man. I haven't talked with you in so long.
I know. Too darn long, brother. We can't be doing that. We gotta get together more often.
I
'Cause I
agree.
truly love talking to the Sioux. I don't just say that.
Oh, I have my unique ideas.
Yeah. Not as unique as you think, just
Oh, I
different
know.
terminology. Hey, let me put these glasses away.
Hey, I enjoyed your last post. I caught a little bit of the beginning and most of the end.
Yeah, that was the end of that series. That was a pretty good one.
I do want to say that when he started his little singing at the end there, what do you want to call that? Chanting, preaching,
Oh,
hallelujah, give me a hey.
yeah.
When he started doing that, I grabbed my wallet. I started pulling out the credit cards.
That's awesome, brother. Yep.
Yeah. But that was good. And to get on that, there were some things he said, man. The best thing I think he said, I mean, I only heard it from the ends, and I didn't mind anything the guy was saying. And a lot of times I'll sit there and listen to what your posts are about, and I'm like, oh, I just wish I don't like the way he worded that and this and that, and that's probably what we're going to talk about tonight.
Oh, that's too much.
What's too much?
My forehead's glowing. Got to turn that light down.
Can't do. I know you have a Guy Fawkes mask, okay?
Nah,
I know you have one. Just go put that on.
It'd be nice. No, I don't have one. This is it. You get what you get.
That's it. That's
You
Armor
wanted
Up.
live.
There it is.
You got live. Here, I'm going to smoke a cigarette. Careful.
Smoke. You could smoke. You can listen on my channel.
wanna see this.
This is not for children. Okay? If they're watching it, it's their parents' fault, not mine.
Hey, Honey Ann followed me over. Howdy. Suzanne's here. Suzanne Casey, Kevin T. They're popping in. Good to see everyone. Happy early Thanksgiving. We'll be here till Thanksgiving, East Coast time, probably. So
Happy Thanksgiving. That's what I've been doing all day, putting that bar back together. Oh, it's gorgeous.
yeah, you guys do the big free meal, don't you? That's awesome.
Yeah, I think they
Great.
said there's 9 turkeys and what is it, 4 hams. I think I miscalculated there. Hey, get here before like 2, 3 in the afternoon. You'll be fine. You get here 5 or 6, you're gonna get the bone.
Yeah, yep. That's nice. There's
Now
a big
they know
place,
about it.
big place around here over in State College, Penn State. I forget what the diners come. They do a big free dinner too every year, which is nice for the homeless and stuff. For anybody that wants to go. I mean, anyone can go. But it's awesome. At least once a year, the homeless get a good meal. You know, a couple times a year. I think they do it at Christmas too, and possibly Easter. So.
Yeah, that's what we do. Christmas and Thanksgiving. Tell them, just come up, get what you want. You got to buy the drinks, but you know, got to get the money somewhere. It's a good way, especially for this community. It's such a small town, you know. And the first time we did it, I'm walking around, you know, grabbing people's drinks and stuff, and I walked by a couple with 2 young girls sitting there having their Thanksgiving meal. And if I didn't have to run out of that place and just go for a walk, I mean, I was just like, what? Are you kidding me? And it just, and then I thought, oh, you know what it is? Grandmom's food sucks. That's what it is.
That's good.
So,
You never know, maybe. We don't have
I
that.
had to go with that to get through my day. I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. But I mean, you know what? It happens. I mean, it's a crusher. And I'm wearing my little boulder here.
I seen that. I love that hat. I was like, all
I'm
right,
I'm
super, you
being
got the hat on.
listen. I don't know if you I don't know. Hopefully, I'll get to explain this. But I said, well, I got to wear a hat. I can't, blind everybody. So, and I'm looking at the hats I got. I got them all over the dang place, and I'm like, let's be random. I just grabbed the boulder.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah, well, random. That's something that it's funny. I didn't really quite get the random idea when it was shown to me on that weekend uh, in Idaho. I was walking down the street with Kimberly-Lynn Hanson. We were talking about randomness and no time and I'm watching that stuff in action. And if you've seen my last couple of videos, you get what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Did you get a chance to watch the very latest one I put out? It was kind of, I'd call it my first video after I got back.
Which one? Who was on it?
Just me.
I don't know if I've seen that one yet.
In the beginning, I
About
think
a baby.
I interviewed a guy about a flag, and I had a Monopoly game up there, and the very end was cats.
No, I must not.
And in between was just me sitting there babbling like a fool because I couldn't shut up. And half that stuff, trust me, what you got, it was 45 minutes of me sitting there babbling, and I probably deleted an hour. I mean, besides me just sitting there out in space going, okay, I got this idea, I'm like, I'm done editing. I'm just going to give it to you.
That's the best way to do it, man. Just put it out there. I don't edit. I mean, I do edit in like the scriptures over top of my videos and stuff, but as far as like I'll stumble over a word, I don't edit it out. Which is obvious if you watch my videos.
Well, you know what's funny? You say that. I've been putting up my, I put my I say 3 2-hour videos, and it's all of 2016 when I put my videos up. And I put them up on YouTube, and I put, I think, 2 out now on Facebook. And I'm watching a couple of these, and I'm like, a couple of times I misspeak. I say the opposite of what I mean. And that drives me up a wall. I'm like, what? What was that? That's not how I said it. That is not how I said it. I would have edited that. I got a form of OCD that I can control. I'm going to look at these things and know if something's wrong. And I just put them out there. Whatever. I'm like, hey, my views change.
Yeah, I realize when I'm listening back to someone's like, that isn't what I meant to say. And I can see why people misunderstood that, because that isn't at all what I meant to say. Hey, Lordy Frybread, Tina God's Love, Queen of Swords, they're hopping in on us.
I was going to suggest that. I was going to suggest as they come in, call them out.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Easier that way.
All right.
Watching the chat, so yeah.
We could just keep going. See when we get this baby started.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what it's all about is, well, I watched the last 2 I watched, you sent me the link with you, and I believe it was Kimberly's her name.
Yeah, did you watch that?
Yeah, the one with her and Shane, and then the one with her and you, and wow,
okay.
Yeah. Yep. So
what'd you think? Talk to me.
I think basically that's sort of the way I've always been. And I think now we use different terms. I'll use the terms I use. You'll understand what I'm saying. But I think if we're truly going to follow the spirit, how else can we be? We're told the spirit's like wind. We don't know where it's going, where it's coming from. You got to truly go with the flow. Now, the only thing I would say is you have to be careful and make sure you're going with the flow of the right spirit. But other than that, it's all about spontaneity and not letting the enemy steal your joy because you missed your flight or I think she's pretty spot on to the way we're supposed to be if we're truly following the spirit, even though that's not at all what she calls it or talks about. But absolutely, I agree with probably 90% of what she's saying as to how we're supposed to be. That's what it's all about. Being free to do what the spirit tells us to do. And don't worry about it. If something goes wrong, who cares? It was probably meant to go wrong.
And that's where I want to get into, and that's what I want you to address. If something goes wrong, and let's call it evil, and you're saying, what was your response to that? Something goes wrong?
It probably was either meant to go wrong. I mean, for instance, maybe you didn't leave at the time you were supposed to leave, and that's what kept you from being in a major car wreck that you might have been in if you left 2 minutes ago, type of thing. We don't know why,
Right.
but we're so quick when something don't go as we plan, like we're something, like if something don't go as we plan, well, oh, it's either an attack from the enemy or what, almost always, oh, it's an attack from the enemy. We give the enemy way too much credit. Maybe it's just
I wrote that down. Listen, that's something your boy said on his thing. And
Yeah.
that drove me. I think we give Satan way too much power. Is what
And
quote that. That's what he said.
I've said that many
And I'm
times
like,
in my videos. It's
okay,
absolutely true.
That's exactly the way Kim lives her life, and that's exactly where I'm going with this.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm trying to take it slow. I'm trying to shut up over here. I'm like, wait, Ron talks a lot. I should be good here.
Sometimes I do get on quite the ramble, I'll admit.
And I'm going to let you go. I want to try and pull that to when things happen that you don't plan, or when evil comes in. Because when you say evil, and I kind of touched on it in the video that you didn't see where it's just me yapping away for a week. When evil comes in, okay, I could start out with, hey, just send it love. And look, I could preach this shit all day long. That's the hardest thing in the world for me to do. I'm from Philly. I'll go Philly on your ass.
Yeah.
No. And I'm like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, I'm ex-military and a biker. So yeah, I know all about.
Boom. How are you? Somebody comes at you and you're going to go, no, I'm going to.
I know exactly what you mean. It's
You're
rough.
going to get hit with it, and you're going to get affected. Okay, with an A, affected. It's going to hit you, and you're going to feel negativity, and you're going to get, I want to say angry or whatever. But how quick can you stop that and go, no, just start sending this person love, because you don't know what the hell they've been through. You don't know what their life is like. You don't know why they're acting the way they are.
Exactly. It's a hard lesson to learn, but yeah, it's definitely what we're supposed to be doing, because our battle isn't against them anyway. It's against the spirit behind them. And so sometimes there ain't even a spirit behind them. They're just having a bad day. So why would you hate someone who they may have just lost their mother, or we don't know what's going. So why would you hate someone that's being angry or resentful because you have no idea why?
Right.
Truly pray for them or tell them to have a good day. A prime example, I was delivering in DC and I have to block the road with my one box truck. I mean, it's a one-way little alley, and the only way to deliver there is to basically block the alley. I'm normally there real early in the morning, so little traffic, and there's an alley you can cut down to avoid the truck that's sitting there with its four ways on, blocking the alley. Well, this one dude comes roaring up behind me, honking the horn. My wife's up in the truck. I'm loading mushrooms and stuff onto the cart. He's like, they're blocking the alley. I said, dude, I know. I said, this is what we do. I said, why didn't you turn down that alley back there like everyone else when they see the big truck blocking the alley? And he's cursing and swearing and starts backing up. And I said, hey, in my mean biker army type voice, hey. And he stops and looks out the window. I said, you have a blessed day, and don't forget Jesus loves you. And he just looked at me and got all red-faced and floored it backwards out the alley. And by the time he got back to where you could turn to get down the other alley, cars were coming. So he was stuck there for 5 minutes. I'm like,
Yeah, but did you say that from your heart, or did you say that?
Really? No, I meant it. The dude was having a horrible day, obviously.
Right from your heart, you meant that.
Yeah, why not? The dude obviously was having a bad day. My day was just starting. I ain't gonna about let him ruin it. I got a long day to go driving around DC. Now, you have a good day, and now look what happened to you because of the way you acted. Now you're stuck between me and cars because you didn't just burn down his
ball by saying that.
You reaped what you just sowed. That's a perfect. The enemy didn't do that. He just reaped what he just sowed.
But didn't you rub it in his face?
Nope. No, I was too busy taking the stuff in. I didn't want to keep blocking the alley, but no, seriously, I was like, you have a blessed day, man.
Okay,
Jesus
you
loves
got
you.
time. Okay, maybe it wasn't. Okay.
I mean, what else can you do? Why would I get mad at the guy?
All right. All right.
I've been called much worse than he was saying. So, hey, whatever. You're obviously having a bad day. Have a good day and remember Jesus loves you. It's all right. It'll be okay. Back up. Everything will be okay.
Well, that's where I want to go with this. What did he say? He said, what was his name? The guy on your post?
The one today, that's Bruxy. That's his church is the Meeting House. That's the YouTube channel. There's links under the video for it. But
Oh, cool.
that's one of my favorite channels. Yeah.
Well, he says, test the spirits.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
now we're probably going to get into it here, but the first thing that came to mind, just because of where I am right now, is test the spirits for science. Okay. But when he finished his sentence, in the name of Jesus, I can see where that name has so much power that it will absolutely work. Whoever has faith and totally believes in that, man, not a question. I could totally see where that would work.
Well,
Okay. But,
you don't.
go
I
ahead.
was just going to say real quick, you don't even have to have complete faith, because remember, Jesus said just a grain of a mustard seed. So, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm working with that because, I mean, that's, since I've been 19, I'm like, I was brought up Catholic, so it was all about Jesus. And after going through the perception stepping stone of the flat earth community, I realized, oh, I got to start questioning everything. And my Catholic upbringing was definitely one of them that I've already kind of walked away from. Not the teachings, because the teachings are beautiful, but the religion itself. I was like, nah, you know what? Whatever. Call me a New Ager. I'll go there. I didn't think they were properly right. I thought it was a bit cloudy, a bit foo-foo. But that's where I went. I mean, I still appeased my mother and my family and whatever. And yeah, but I was brought up Catholic. So yeah, that stuff's ingrained in me, man. So when people attack me and they're like, denounce God, search for God, or praise God. And don't give me three choices. I mean, Democrat, Republican, you might as well tell me. Don't give me those. Don't force that shit on me. Who are you?
Yep, exactly.
So
Who are we to force anything
that
on
stuff
anyone?
happens, and I'm not trying to stereotype at all, but because there's so many other things I want to get to here that make perfect sense to me, but I want to get through this one. And forget in the name of science, because that's where to me, I'm like, wow, I'm talking about science. I mean, to me, if you've watched any of my videos, it's like, to me, I mean, especially after the perception crap. Okay, in the name of Jesus, and we've been through that. Okay, look, in your wording, would you say yes or no that Jesus is a liaison to God?
Oh, absolutely. That was the whole point of what he did. I mean, Christians will go, oh, he came and died for our sins so we be forgiven. And well,
Okay.
absolutely. But that isn't the main reason he came. He came to connect us back to the Father. We had been
Yes.
severed. The enemy stole us. We had been severed. We had no hope of ever talking to him again. I don't
Okay.
care what they say. Until Jesus.
I love your terms. I don't even know what mine are, but I'm like, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I absolutely believe
Now
that.
the Catholics also went ahead and decided to also make liaisons. Well, now see, Mary, my father was big into Mary, the Virgin Mary. He would pray to her to pray to her son, because what mother's not going to listen to her son?
Yeah. But see, the problem is, and I know I trigger the Catholics when I
Right?
say
Yeah.
this, but hey, Robin Keneally in the house and Save Sinner. Let's give them a quick shout. And Carla
Do
Rick,
it.
give them a shout out quick there. I think they're the only three that snuck in on me. But
Okay.
yeah, you got to remember, and I've said this live on a gentleman's channel who was talking about praying to Mary. I said, well, you can pray to Mary all you want, but unfortunately she's dead. So She ain't gonna be able to do much for you. She's just another human being who died. I'm sorry.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. You're kind of making my point. I didn't want to go that far because quite frankly,
I'll go. I get
Jerry
it.
Lewis came back. Why can't Mary? Okay. Okay. Jerry Lewis is about the longest, right? What's that? 20 years or something?
Yeah, true.
And
Maybe Mary is alive. We just don't know it. Anything's possible.
Well,
Work.
bingo. 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 Listen, I wanted to say that. I wanted to say all these people are talking about Jesus. And forgive me, but I'm going to say the man. And I always felt that it was the Christ energy, which is what I feel like is the true liaison to God, speaking through Jesus when he was saying, I'm coming back, or look, I don't know the scripture. I'm just assuming he said it in the Bible. I'm assuming he said, the Christ will return. And where do we get 2,000 years? Is that in the Bible?
Well, that can get very deep.
Is it in the Bible or isn't it? Yes or no?
Well, it depends on how you interpret the Bible, I would have to say. That's why I said it can get deep.
I got plenty of time.
I mean, basically, he's asked what will be the signs of the second coming or the coming of man, and he tells them. And then in Revelation, that's where they get the return of Christ on the clouds, him himself coming back.
It's in Revelation.
Yeah, that's in Revelation. But it's in like Mark and Matt, it's in the Gospels where the disciples ask him about what will be the signs. And that's where he says about as in the days of Noah and earthquakes. And
let me interrupt and just ask you, is in the book of Revelation, wow, it was so hard for me not to say Revelations.
Yeah.
Is that the only place that's in the Bible?
You mean an actual second coming?
Yes.
Well, like I said, it depends on how you would interpret it, the Gospels, because they ask him, how will we know the signs of the coming of the Son of Man? So that could be interpreted a second coming. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
So
what's he say, by the way?
Well, that's where he says about it'll be as in the days of Noah and earthquakes in diverse places and all that's the famines. And that's where he says about all that stuff, which, basically you could consider already has happened and is happening long ago.
It has always happened, no?
Right, exactly. So that's why I say you have to be careful in how you interpret these things. I interpret things quite different than most people, I've come to find out. And but, I can only go with what I believe in my heart. So that's what I do. Personally, I think, and maybe it's time to say it now, I had some questions about it on Sunday and our Shifty Sunday show, and I was like, I don't know, maybe I ain't supposed to talk about it yet, but the heck with it. We'll talk about it. I think Revelations is a major problem. I think it is the big part of the great falling away and the major deception. Because I think what's talked about in Revelation, I believe, is actually going to play out just like it's written. Because I think that's how everyone's going to get deceived. When Jesus comes on the clouds, like it's written about in Revelation, all these Christians that have been waiting for that are going to run to him. And unfortunately, all my opinion, start making your videos now and sending your hate mail. I really don't care anymore. But that's a great deception. Because when Jesus says about his coming back, his words, now I know Revelation is supposed to be his words too, and that's what I mean. This gets very deep and not well appreciated, probably. But when he's talking in the Gospels, when he's still walking around, and they ask him, he says things like, I'm going to come like a thief in the night. You won't know I was there. It's going to be quick. So be ready. Keep your eyes open. Stuff like that. But in Revelation, dude's coming on clouds. There's thunder, lightning, trumpets. That's hardly like a thief. Thieves usually don't come in blowing trumpets. And so I think the book of Revelation may have been added later, as a part of the Great Deception. I mean, that's truly what I believe. There's no other way around it, because what happens in Revelation goes so much against what Jesus said, even though that's supposedly him saying it. You know what I mean? That's why I say it's so important to get to know Jesus, the one that walked around, as best you can, because believe me, that book's messed up. All kind of messed up. Always has been, always will be. That's why you're told to read what, you know, that's why you need the Spirit to interpret it. He's the one that has to tell us what it means, because it's been misconstrued. If not, why would we have so many denominations all preaching different things, thinking they got the only way to heaven? When someone got to be wrong, you know, they can't all be right. So you need discernment, and that's why you need to get to know Jesus, that was walking around with the apostles, what he said, what he taught, what he did, and then line everything else up with it.
What he
be
said,
it Revelation, be it
what he
Paul, be it the Old
did.
Testament, anything. If it don't line up with the way Jesus acted and talked, it's got to be false, because he is the truth, period.
Is
There's
it?
no other truth.
Now, it's him because
He said so, basically.
the Christ was working through him.
Because he had the Spirit, exactly.
He had the
You gotta
Spirit.
remember,
He
Jesus
had the
didn't
Spirit.
start his ministry until he got baptized by John and the Spirit descended upon him. And then immediately took him to the wilderness, all that stuff. But the Spirit is what enabled Jesus to do what he did. Not, and I hope people understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I hope they do too, because this is where I'm going.
And that's why he said, I have to leave. If I don't leave, I can't send the Spirit. And that's why he said things like, you're going to do greater things than me. And people don't even understand that. They think
John
fleshly.
14:12.
He was doing fleshly things. Well, what's greater than that? Spiritual things. We wait for more healings or more blind people to see or more food miracles, or we wait for more fleshly things, thinking that's what he was talking about. And that isn't what all he was talking about, in my opinion. He meant we will do it on a spiritual level. We'll open the blind eyes of this people that's spiritually blind. We'll unstop the deaf ears of people who can't hear what he's saying. We'll raise the dead, because we're all dead unless we come to Jesus and get reborn. We are dead. So we raise the dead. We're doing way more than he ever did. That's what he meant. But not on a physical level. Not that the physical don't happen. I'm not saying miracles don't happen, but I'm saying that isn't what we're supposed to be striving for. We're supposed to be filled with the same Spirit he had, which gives us the same authority. That's why he said, and this is another big misconstrued thing. That's why he said, anything you ask for in my name. Well, in my name means with my authority. Like a king would send out someone to a neighboring kingdom and say, tell them you come in the name of the king. So that dude who was no one would go and say, I come in the name of the king. I have his authority. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
So much as in Jesus' name I pray, amen. That isn't what it meant. It meant realize you have his authority, his name, his Spirit is in you. You have every right to do everything he did on a much higher spiritual level, because it's in you now, just like it was in him. Before that, the Spirit was never in anyone.
Okay. And I'll tell you what, you've said Spirit so many times, and I've been calling it Spirit and sometimes Source, because to me, sometimes there can be a direct access to God, I feel. It doesn't have to be a liaison. But if that's how it works for you, I think that's fine, because I don't think it matters what you call it. And that's kind of where I'm going at with the, every time you say Jesus, I just want to reword it with Christ. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, because he was the Christ.
Okay, right, exactly. And to me, that you know what, I'm splitting hairs. It's just,
it don't matter. He understands.
Listen, if you get it and that works for you, I think that's phenomenal.
And Spirit, we don't have a name. And
Because it doesn't matter, exactly. It doesn't matter what you call it. I've been going through that for a week now.
He don't have a name. He don't care about himself. The Spirit only cares about reminding you what we call Jesus said and the truth of the Father and what his will is in your life. That's all the Spirit. It don't want no notoriety. It don't care about a name or a gender or any of that stuff. And hey, we got Osi and Cora and Brian Wolcott popped in. So talk to them. Oh, and
get everybody. And you'll have to get everybody at the end of this thing.
Yeah. But yeah, it don't terms. That's why I've said ever since we first started talking, I've told you, I am not worried. You're on the right path, whether you know it or not. And we just use different terms.
Yeah, I said that. I agree.
To the Father, Son, or Spirit, they mean nothing. It's all the heart. It's all what you think those terms mean.
Let me ask you something. I want to ask you a question. Can you test the spirits in the name of God?
Well, the only way I think to test the spirits, push button 62, they're here. Hey, push button, is again by getting to know the truth. Until you know the truth, how can you test whether something's right or wrong when you don't even know the baseline of the truth yet?
That's what scientists do, don't they? I mean, that's how they keep testing things until they get an answer, whether that works or not.
Yeah, and that's what it boils down to. That's why I constantly say you've got to get to know the truth before you can even begin to test the spirit, or how are you going to distinguish between the two? If you don't know truth, if you don't know the absolute right, the absolute truth, whatever that is to you, well, then what are you judging it against? You have nothing. See what I'm saying? You have to get to know the truth before you can ever discern a spirit, because the spirit will lie right to your face. I mean, the demons come out and said, Jesus, what are you doing here? They realized Jesus was walking around in the flesh, but they still weren't good spirits. You know
that's what I'm going to fight here. I'm going to fight the demons. All right. You have where'd he go? You have Jesus. You have nothing to worry about. True?
If you have the spirit that Jesus gives you,
I meant you.
Nothing to worry about.
I meant you, Ron.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I ain't got nothing to worry about.
You're good. You're good.
Bring it. Bring them. I've said it many times. I ain't worried about things. Bring it.
And any evil in your life, what happens?
Well, first of all, I've come to realize a lot of what I think is evil or the enemy isn't. So a lot of it's just life. So you just go with the flow. But yeah, I mean, as far as an actual demonic type evil attack, it's over. They won't come near real.
Yeah, because you're already surrounded by love.
Yeah, the demons didn't go running to Jesus. They tried to stay away. You know what I mean? And
right, exactly.
They ain't looking for a fight.
I get it. There's so, like I said, there's so much power in that name. I get where it would work. So why bother? Okay, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I'm not even saying the name. I'm saying that spirit, once it's in you, they see that.
Okay, so you have the same energy that Jesus had in him.
I'm trying. I mean,
okay, aren't we all?
Way to go. But
and a lot of people would call that Christ or the Christ consciousness. I like to call it the Christ collective consciousness, but
yeah, just terms.
Just terms.
But it is a collective consciousness because we are a body. We're supposed to be together. So you can say collective. That's why that term don't bother me, because it's true. We are supposed to be
true. At some absolute, it is true. But at this point, but we've always been connected to the Christ.
Yeah, absolutely. I see Paul Johnson said about I laugh about it, but it's real. I'm deceived. Watch my back. Demons can change someone overnight. Bring it.
Yeah,
if you're really filled with the spirit, they can't touch you. They can only touch you if they trick you into believing the enemy is defeated. He's done. It's over. It was over a long time ago. His only power now is to make sure you don't realize that. And realize the only enemy you really got to fight, since from then on, is us, self, ourselves. That's our flesh, whatever you want to call it. That's our enemy.
Thank you, Robin.
The enemy's over. He's done.
Because
He's got to remind
what Robin said is true, you know, but I'm going to push it a little further here and go, look, if you have demons coming at you, they're your demons.
Yeah.
You've created those because of the dogma you've listened to and because of the stuff that they're your demons. Source, God, Jesus, the divine matrix, the universal mind, I don't want to care what you call it, is not going to let you get fucked over. It's
No.
not going to let you, it's not going to attack you. It's not going to let that happen.
Absolutely not.
No,
There's
Paul
nothing but love.
Johnstone. No, Paul Johnstone. That's you're putting propaganda on my channel. Dude, I like you. Be careful.
Oh, we all got our own opinions, but if you're worried about
Please have your opinions, but if they're your demons, they're your demons.
Yep.
And deal with those. Face them. Face them. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not being the word eludes me. Look, I love you people. I love every one of you. But if you're going to go crying that demons are attacking you, do you think God would let that happen? Do you think Jesus, if you follow Jesus and the power that's in that name, do you really think he would let that happen to you? No.
Not a chance.
So if that's going on, know that you are protected, know that you are true, know that you are love, and walk through that shit. Send that shit love.
Yeah, and I'd say if that's going on, and I don't want to be condescending or cynical, but I would say you better get to know the right spirit.
Get to know the right
Obviously you
spirit.
don't.
I mean, and look, you're already attached to that right spirit. I'd say acknowledge it. I'm saying spirit. I'm using my boy Ron's terms. I still don't know what to call it. It's loving me right now. I'm feeling the love and I'm trying to chill the hell out. I'm like, no, because the demon thing, look, and I get it. And what, you know what? I'm going to have to post it. Give me a second. Next time you're rambling, I'm going to post it. It's the link to the conference chat that was online. And they asked how you felt about demons or something to that point. And Kimberly-Lynn Hanson came on and she was like blown away because she didn't understand the question. What do you mean by demons? Anything that comes my way, I send love, it goes away. But at the same time, if somebody's attacking her verbally or whatever, she seemed to just, it affects you, but she would just instantly, for her, this is the way she lives. It's just like, whoa, send this person love, find out what the problem is. And it ends up being this most beautiful thing. Okay, mind blowing. So, but and that's how we started this out. I'm not that close. I mean, got somebody attacks me. No, I'm coming back at you. And I'm finding a point now where I stop myself and go, hold on, do this. And as angry and as upset as I am, I turn it around. And it's okay. Some people say fake it to make it. Okay, if that works for you, go for it. For me, it's got to be real. And then I connect to God, to the liaison, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to give it a label. I connect to that. And instantly I'm like, I can so give this person so much love. Let me do it. And it doesn't happen that quick for me, especially now. I'm still learning. I'm still trying.
Oh yeah, I'm far from got it down pat. And perfect example, a couple weeks ago, I let my flesh get in the way and some things were said in a live chat. And I was like, that's it. I'm done doing lives. I need a break. I'm sick of this. You people ain't listening. I got back into myself and quit doing lives for like 2-3 weeks. And that whole 2 or 3 weeks was a nightmare.
Oh, because you weren't online.
Myself up. I forgot
preaching the truth, brother.
Yeah. But
Sorry, I got a little.
It ain't like once I got the spirit, I'm constantly protected. I'm protected as long as I'm doing it.
And that's what I'm saying. And you're calling it spirit. I'm still trying to find a name with it. Do you actually communicate with it, Ron? Do you actually find a linear time to connect with it?
Well, when I get alone, that's what I mean by when I say go get alone with the Father. Spend some time, quiet time, just.
So you're meditating or you're praying?
Call it meditation. Some call it praying. I don't really call it either one because I call it enjoying time with the Father. It's like it'll re-energize you. He may teach you something. He may not. He may just hold you a while and love you. I mean,
or put you on like forced vacations. Like that happened
yeah,
all last week for me.
yeah, exactly. But
It's like, where was
yeah,
that
so
20 years ago?
as far as communicating, I mean, not. It's real hard to understand or put into terms because it'll communicate to me, like I said in my videos before, maybe through a tree, maybe through a horse, maybe through a song, maybe through a video, maybe, it communicates
Oh man.
however it wants. It
Yeah.
uses
Hey,
every.
Paul, listen, Ron, I got to interrupt you because this is hitting
Okay.
me. Paul, I want to apologize. I'm not yelling at you specifically, just some of the stuff that came out because it gave me a message to say, look, if you're going to accept those demons, that's on you and face that stuff. And if you really feel that way, face that stuff. And it'll be simple, so easy. It's nothing on you, bro. I'm sorry that happens. If that happens to you, I mean, because look, it happens to me, and I don't think, hey, send them love. I mean, that to me, that's the simple answer, and it's right there. And with I don't know attacks on YouTube, I ignore, so I can't even go there. I did want to go somewhere with that. Oh, I don't know if I should. I need to talk to Mr. Stavely about something before I get into that. I really want to talk about something. And I could be vague about it. Hey, chat, let's get involved. Let's get chat involved. Ron, you can get involved.
All right.
I got a little question. Name all of the actors and actresses. Oh, by the way, the word actress didn't show up for me until I was about 8 years old because before then it was always an actor. And I kept asking my mother, hey, this is an exclusive, by the way. I would ask my mother, well, male, the males are actors. What are the women? And she's like, they're actors too. I'm like, oh, okay. And now, of course, they're actresses. um, that's great. Where was I going? Just blew myself up there.
Something
Oh, I
about.
was going to ask Chad a question.
Yeah, you're going to ask us.
How many actors and actresses do you know that are affected? Okay, that show a Mandela Effect. How many different ones? I mean, I would say Shirley Temple, Jerry Lewis, and I want to get off of the death thing. Let's skip the death thing. Let's go with actors and actresses that haven't died and come back. Ron, any?
Well, if I understand your question, first we got Family RL popped in. Howdy to them. Fam RL. Uh, you mean like have had a Mandela effect around them, like Tom Hanks, for instance,
He'd be one.
Sally Fields,
Sally Fields.
Jim Neighbors, although, I guess he was in Gomer Palace, so that'd be an actor also.
Is he really dead now?
I don't know. He's died 3 times in my reality now. For
I
real.
love that.
He died back in the early or late 80s, then in 2000 something. Then
So we got Hanks and Fields.
yeah,
Field.
Jim Neighbors. Well, Jim Neighbors is one that died and came back. Yeah, we weren't counting them. So yeah.
I mean, I know there's others. I know it's
Charlize Theron. I believe that's one.
okay. Yeah. Now that's funny for her. That's excellent because for me, she had a Z in her first name and her last name. Do you remember that?
Well, I
That
remember
would
Charlize, the first name. I don't know the last name though. Theron. Where would it?
for Theron is it, but I always thought, wow, why is the Z silent? Because it was always Therzon for me. I had the poster, and coincidentally, that poster was destroyed. It's like I had I think I have it again actually, but this is the newer one where the hair covers her face in Eon Flux. But yeah, she's been in a couple. Okay. But see, now I would have went stronger than that. Tom Hanks has got to be the strongest one.
Oh yeah, he seems to be in a bunch of them.
Okay.
No doubt.
I want to send Brian Stavely a link because I ain't gonna get into this. I just don't see all the hate towards all these people that are showing up in Mandela effects. Except Tom Hanks is still alive. I mean, what about Johnny Depp? Has he hit anything? Because I would expect him to.
Yeah, you would surely think so. I don't know. You know me, I don't keep up with the Mandela stuff as much as most of the people do. So
That's good. I've been getting
probably
away
a lot
from it
less people
myself.
know. So yeah, surely you would think Johnny Depp has to have some type of.
I just did. This thing came to me. I was doing an exercise, and I read something. It was on Kimberly-Lynn Hanson's site. And I'm like, wow. And she's like, T. Hanks. And it had nothing to do with what she was talking about. And I'm looking at T. Hanks, and I'm like, and she's like, yeah, thanks. That just hit me. I'm like, why would we be mad at this guy? He's trying to tell us the truth. What if he figured something out when he was a kid, decided, hey, what's the best way I could tell the truth to the public? Oh, become an actor. And let this shit happen? I don't know. I just, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we should hate the guy. I don't really believe that for a second,
No,
but
you shouldn't hate anybody, like we said.
no, I'm kidding. I'm exaggerating. I'm being
And,
flip.
and as
I'm
far
looking at. I looked at the other side of the coin, where not just Brian, but he's brought it up because other people said to him, "Look, we should go after Tom Hanks," and he's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh." I was on board with that. I'm like, let's go get him. And now I'm like, wait a minute. What if this guy is trying to help out? But I don't see how he would have anything to do with it. Has anybody ever questioned him about?
oh, I doubt it.
And what would he answer?
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
but I agree that a lot of artists, be it an author or an actor or a screenwriter or singer or whatever, may be trying to tell the truth as best they can without causing a problem. If you know what I'm getting at. Well, for instance, I think,
Yeah, and they cause a problem.
like the Lord of the Rings, for instance, this is a perfect example. Yeah, that's all a fantasy type, dark. Everyone points to the evil connotations of it, but there's a lot of actual truth and good lessons to be learned in there. And again, that turns right back into the Father can use anything, but still, I think sometimes maybe they are trying to put out a message as safely as they can, according to their perception of the situation they're in, maybe would be a way to put it.
And if you see what they're putting out and it's negative and you're getting that, to me, God's letting you get that for a reason. There's a positive note there.
Yeah. I mean,
no matter what you get, no matter how bad it seems, no matter what's going on, to me, there's got to be a positive note. And listen, I'm the first one to tell you I could preach it. Okay. And I'm working with it now. So, it's a learning curve.
Oh, absolutely. A never ending learning curve too. That's the main thing we got to remember.
But I really feel like
constantly
that what you're talking about, we'll use whatever terms we need to use. What you're talking about that's connected to you and me and everybody and always has been is what we should. It's there. It's stronger now. I don't know, maybe 2012. Maybe that's what that year was. It's stronger now. And I talked about I was trying to get into where the physical man could have been walking around here for 2,000 years. Well, look, if you're going to thank this guy for anything, it'd be for walking around physical reality for 2,000 years. I mean,
yeah.
hey, thanks for doing that, buddy. I mean, okay. And I say, and thank him and don't wait for him to come back and save you. Do it yourself. Get up. You have the tools. He gave you the tools. He gave you the message. He gave you everything you needed. And he even said, look, it's going to take you 2,000 years to get it or wherever that came from.
Well, I think that led right back into to Revelation and why I think the way I do, because that plays a big part into the sedimentary Christians. I mean, they're just kicked back waiting. Jesus is going to come and he's going to be on a cloud and he's going to kick everybody's butt. And We just need to believe and pray and do it. No, we were told this is a spiritual battle. We were given armor. Armor means war. You don't get armor so you can kick back on the couch and watch a movie. You don't wear armor to do. You wear armor when you're at war. You know. Uh-oh, lost your.
There you go. I was trying to do you.
Oh, got all muted. But yeah, so you know what I mean. And Revelations got them all waiting on Jesus to come back and save us. He already came and saved us. It's over. He said it's finished.
I don't need another hero. Listen, I got to tell you, you're in so much trouble. You know who I'm talking to. That song is in my head all the time. I have not heard it. It's been in my head for a week and a half, and every day. And I'm like, it's not like I turned the song on to listen to it. I didn't have to. I knew the song. I knew exactly what words were meant. And I'm like, wow. Do you know that song?
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. And actually, music's one of the main ways spirit for like the Father communicates with me. Me personally, it's always been a musical. I mean, not the only way. Like I said, he's talked to me with a horse and a leaf and a conversation in Walmart 5 miles over that had nothing to do with me. He's talked to me in all those ways, but music.
That's great that you can pick that up and that you can hear that.
Yeah, and that's what it means to be open to be listening, to be open, because he's always talking to us. It's just whether or not we take the time to bother listening, or we're too busy worrying about our life or running around the world, caught up on worldly crap. Father's always talking to us. He cares. He loves us. Always talking to us. We just don't bother most of the time. We're too busy to bother.
Yeah, I get it. And my big thing was why, I came on here and I don't even know what the heck I was thinking about. And I'm like, oh, the terms, we gotta bring them all to one thing. No, we don't. You use whatever terms you want. I don't care. I don't care.
Why do we as humans always
for me?
You want to put the Father in a box and give him terms. That's why I've said many times to you, we talk different terms, but I love you like a brother. I know you're good. I know you're on the right track. I don't care what terms mean nothing. It's heart. It's what you're saying. It's what comes out of a man. They just said in the lesson we just watched on my channel. It's what comes out of a man that defiles them. If you're spitting out negative and hate and all that stuff, that's going to defile you. If you're spitting out love and forgiveness and grace, and that's what's going to save you and those around you. It's all about our words and our thoughts even more. That's why we're told to take our thoughts captive. We think our thoughts don't matter. Our thoughts mean everything on the spiritual level, because you're still feeding one side or the other, whether you know it or not.
The thoughts thing. Yeah, that's a big, it's funny. I felt like I was given these stepping stones. I'm sure it's not even stepping stones at this point, but that's how I felt. And I kept thinking flat Earth was the first one, but no, it was what you just said. That's big.
And like Paul Johnstone said, I just want to touch this quick. He says we can't save anyone. Absolutely. And that's a big thing we need to remember. We can't save anyone, but we can lead them to the person that can. That's our job. Not to preach our message and beat it into their heads till we're sure they got it. No, we plant the seed, speak the truth. We move on. It's out of my hands. It's up to the Father. Nobody saved me. The Father saved me. But a lot of people had told me a lot of truth along the line that may have helped once I realized what was going on. But only the Father and the Spirit and Jesus can save. All we can do is show them that this is a good way to make
How are we going to show them, Ronnie? Because I'm showing them by example.
Exactly. And that's the only way to show them. That's another perfect point. Show them by being what Jesus told us to be. And then when they say, man, that guy's nice, why is he so nice? You can say, oh, because Jesus tells me to be nice. Oh, well, that's cool. Yeah, why does everyone want to go in preaching? Jesus told us to go out and make disciples of all men. And to do that by becoming him, by being him, by showing love like he did, by forgiving like he did, by telling them their sins are forgiven like he did.
He was only really able to do that because he was able to bring the Christ consciousness within him.
Right. If that's, yep.
Is that okay? Is that okay to say?
Well, he was Christ. Yes. The spirit.
He became Christ, period. Straight up. How did he do it back then? Nobody else did it back then. And now all of a sudden the energy is here enough for a plethora to be able to do that. That's how I feel. I feel like the energy's here. I don't look, man, there's not going to be a bunch of people walking on water tomorrow. Okay. That's not what I'm saying. Okay.
But they are, but they will be. See?
They are and they will be. Okay.
Because it's what is.
I was being linear. My bad.
Right. I mean, because we look at everything fleshly. We keep waiting for people to walk on water. If you follow Christ, walk on water. I am. Water means people. So we walk on people. We walk not on them in a bad way, but we walk on them with a message. We deliver it to the people. We walk on the water.
So you're taking that as like a story.
Spiritual. Why? They want us looking at everything fleshly.
You don't think he
revelations? That's why they name cities and countries, and they want us focused on the world and the flesh and it ain't nothing about. It's never been about the fleshly. The only thing it's been about the fleshly is defeating it. That's the only time the Bible mentions flesh.
How about working with it? I mean, is there room for physical reality and spiritual reality?
Well, yeah, we have to live in the physical reality, but we've got to realize how much everything we do physically is tied spiritually. We don't realize. That's why I say every thought, every word, every action, you've either just fed one side or the other, whether you meant to or not. You don't have to mean to. If you flip someone off because they pulled out in front of you, you just fed the enemy. That's it. If you wave and smile and tell them, have a blessed day, Jesus loves you anyhow, you just fed the good guy. You are taking your flesh captive because my flesh wants to flip you off. But I got to take that captive.
Yeah, but even if you think that's just as bad as doing it. You might as well give them the finger.
Yeah, but that's why you've got to take it captive.
But you do stop. Yeah, you're right. And I've had that problem. On the way back from Idaho, it was a perfect lesson. You know, it was the perfect thing. Not only did I want to give the guy the finger because trucks can only go 70 and I could go 80. And now they're passing a truck, which is going to take forever. Instantly, I didn't just go, oh, no, I don't want to give this guy the finger. That's silly. I didn't do that. I got happy. I said, oh, my God, this is amazing. Exactly. And it happened all the way. And I was like, okay, another test. Woohoo. I was so in tune with what was going on. It didn't matter. It was going to happen. It was fine. And then, I got back and I got to tell you, physical reality set in and it was still there. I mean, that was still there. I kept it with me. I was like, no, you ain't going nowhere. And as soon as I walked in the door, it happened. And I actually did give the guy the finger. He didn't see me, though. and I'm walking away. And as I walked away like this, I'm like, oh, my God, that's so great. Why did I do that? But it was still with me. And it's still with me now. And things have changed. My perception has changed so much since that Idaho, more than my perception since Idaho, but just this past week, my perception changed. And I'm like, wow, I am a true Taurus. That was some stubborn shit, okay, that I put myself through, because that's all I did. So, I'll tell you about that story sometime.
And that's true. And like a saved sinner said, Jesus says, if you look at another with lust, you've already committed adultery. Absolutely. But the point is, that's why we need to take them thoughts captive. And another good example, I'm still working on the anger one. So that's why I still get the urge to flip them off sometimes, but I don't.
You know what, it happens.
Still working on that one. and that's all right. Spirit knows we're working. Spirit only works on one thing at a time. My biggest problem was jealousy. I was very jealous. I would accuse my wife of all kind of stuff that was just crazy because I was very jealous. Those thoughts are gone, thankfully, because I worked on that a long time ago. But eventually you'll get to the point where those thoughts don't even come anymore. They're gone. They're no longer, you don't fight them
Let's
because
go there.
they're totally gone.
And
So,
you're married.
oh, yeah, 34 years now, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yep.
Wow, God bless you, dude. Just
God bless
that was
her.
so old world of me.
God bless her because it wasn't easy.
That's something. Oh, but you know, you made it work. It's awesome. God bless her for putting up with your shit.
Yeah.
Listen, that's how I've been looking at myself a lot lately is, and this might help people. I don't know. When I come to a crossroads, anything, I look at it and I go, okay, old world or new world? How am I going to accept this? How am I going to react to this? How am I going to deal with this situation? Because to me, well, that was the old way. And we know the old world didn't work. And we're in the new world now. I really believe the new world, new earth that Dolores Cannon was talking about, we're here now. I really feel that way. There was a point when this Mandela effect started where I could have thought, hey, you know what? We got both going on. Better pick one soon. I really believe that. And I'm like, okay, there still could be infinite in that world and infinite in this world. So my infinite theory is fine. But you're still choosing. And I think we're in the new world now for sure.
Well, I would say,
which to me, let me get this out, which to me is actually what you would term heaven. Am I correct?
No, not really.
Is heaven the main goal? Is heaven where you want to get?
I don't know. That's up to the Father. Because see, there's heaven and there's a new world, new earth. So I don't know where my station's going to be.
Okay, I guess my point was I'm trying to say we're already in heaven. We have so many veils over us that we just don't see it. So we still have to work and exist and live through those veils over our faces. Because I don't really believe we ever left God. Okay, I'll term whatever. And I just feel like we're here. And by seeing the Mandela effect, God said, you know what? There's a group of them here that deserve this. Let me take a veil off, or however you want to term it. And that's why we're seeing the Mandela effects. The Mandela effects is telling me that energy, that contact that we all have all the time is there to help us through life and to guide us to make our lives better instead of going through all the stuff, the physical stuff that's out there that we listen to, that we keep programming ourselves with. And we need to stop that and just sit quietly and say, hey, whatever you want to term it, what would you like me to do today? Or, hey, I got this issue. How can I deal with this in the best possible way? What's the best situation? And I got this trick from Kim. Hey, if there's any doubt, that doubt is only because the situation could be better. So when you bring it in, you say, hey, I'm going to create this, because that's how I was terming it. I'm going to create this. And, oh, I got some doubt. Well, that's because it might be better. That's how I was going through that. Because I'm not necessarily me, Anthony Sanasuso, creating this. Okay. It's this energy coming through me telling me, hey, this is the best way to go because I know every possible situation. I know every single turnout. This is the best way for you to go. Might not seem that way, but when you get to the end, that's where it's going to be. That you're going to be your best possible answer. That's what you want. And that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as this energy is here. I'll use your terms. The Christ energy is here and we can all tap into it. And if talking to Jesus works for you, that's fantastic. Do it. I see when I say Jesus, I think the physical man, and physically he ain't here 2,000 years. I don't care what kind of Mandela effect we got going on. If he comes back in another physical body, okay, that's fine too. there ain't nobody on this planet that's going to believe him. I don't care how many miracles he's going to do. They're going to crucify the guy again. Nobody's going to believe me. I'm thinking, oh, Jesus is going to descend down and everybody's going to see him. Okay, half of them are going to get on their knees and the other half are going to be going, oh, that's a scam. They just want my money. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. And I'm like, okay. And if he does come back on the cloud and the whole bit there, okay, guess what? Physical reality is not physical reality. So yeah, it's possible. Okay. It's not physical reality. It's not what we thought it was. So sure, whatever. If it happens, it happens. And it may have to for some people. I don't know. I'm not physically there because, it keeps telling me, do it yourself. You have the power to do it yourself. Jesus got enough of stuff to do. Let him do his thing.
Yep.
Your turn.
I agree. I don't think we're in heaven now or the new earth, but I think we're going to be part of, we're going to see it come about. I truly believe in our lifetime. We're going to see Revelation play out because I think it's going to play out exactly like it's written. Because
didn't you just say it was put in the Bible later?
Well, yeah, it was definitely added. I mean, everybody knows that. They're not. They most consider that John wrote it, but again, it's all speculation. But either way, it's going to exactly play out because I think it's the enemy's final deception. I think it's the great falling away we were warned about. I think it's
the enemy's been defeated. It's time to celebrate. It's time to connect to that energy and live a life.
Yes, exactly. Stop worrying about the enemy. He already lost. Why do we keep giving him power? Hey, BB jumped in the house, Paul Curran, and who else? Oh,
hey, did you say Belinda Brubaker?
BB, yep, in the house.
Has she been here a while? I didn't hear you say her
name. She just popped in.
Hey, Belinda, Paul, awake, Alone One. Jeez.
Yeah, Lone One. Oh, I forgot to shout out
Northeast native.
Been here a little while. Yeah, awesome. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't think we're there yet, but I think we're a big part of bringing it about. I think, like I said a million times, we've all got a job to do. We're supposed to be doing it. Problem is, most of them are, if they're Christian, they're waiting for Jesus to come back. If they're not, they're trying to do it for themselves and not for, I mean.
Oh, well, let's talk about the ego.
Nobody really.
Yeah, that's, oh, wow, I'm not going there. That'll take too long. I don't even know my own thoughts on that right now. I'm still working through that. I love what I've learned, but the ego, don't destroy it. It's there for a reason.
Well, it's there for a reason, but it's definitely one of the biggest things we need to overcome, that self, as I call it. Because anytime we're doing it for ourselves, that means we're not doing it for the Father. So we're already working for the wrong side, unless.
Well, but not if you're, now listen, if you're happy and you're doing something through your ego that makes you happy, and so we'll say it's not harming anybody or anything, and you're happy, well, the Father's happy about that.
Oh yeah. And that
the Father wants you to be happy.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why we had a question earlier in the chat about holidays and all that.
Follow your bliss.
And I think if you're happy celebrating Thanksgiving and giving thanks to the Father, then do it. I know it stemmed from pagan crap. I know all that. But why do we give that the power? Why don't we take it back like we're supposed to? This is our world. The enemy took it and destroyed it and corrupted it and turned everything upside down. So just take it back.
Right. So Thanksgiving, since it's almost Thanksgiving, was derived from, or it came from, negative, like every holiday.
Yeah.
And we're just turning it around and making it love. And we're not going to sit there and it's about love, and it's about getting together and enjoying each other's company. And
it's like I said about Christmas. I know it isn't Jesus' birthday. I know there's all kind of pagan crap tied with it, but if my grandchildren have joy when they get a present and they understand Santa ain't real and that it's all about Jesus, even though it ain't his birthday, What's wrong with letting them think it's Jesus' birthday and giving them a present and making them happy? I think Father loves it.
That I think so too. I think Christmas is oh God, I've put off every holiday, and Christmas hurt me the most. Actually, Thanksgiving hurt me the most, but Christmas hurt me too. I mean, I told people, I said, you're getting cards, and you'd be lucky if you get a card. I'm not supporting Hallmark's holiday, because to me that's what it was. It was just to pump up the businesses and get everybody back on track. And okay, whatever. I really didn't need to do that to myself. I could have celebrated with everybody else. And that's what I'm doing now. I actually love Christmas. I've always loved Christmas. I just, because of what was out there, and because of what, I'm a conspiracy guy. So I'm checking stuff out and I'm like, oh my God, why am I celebrating that? That's not what it's about. That's not how I was brought up. That's something I dug into. I didn't need to go that far. I'm just, because if I'm celebrating something and I'm enjoying myself and I have no idea that the background of this celebration is evil, it doesn't affect me. It's not evil.
Exactly. It's all where you put the perception, the power, for lack of whatever you want to call it. So don't put it on the bad side.
Yeah, a lot of people give this devil guy too much power. He has no power over you. If you're having, look, and I feel for the people that really have it bad, and really have these evil demons coming at them.
Yeah, because it's real.
Walk through it, man. Walk through it. I know it's got to be hard. You're protected. You're safe. You're not gonna never exist. I mean,
the one thing you got to remember is you're not protected if you don't have what I call a spirit. I mean, you're wide open. So yeah, it ain't like you're protected.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, you gotta know how to use the spirit. You can't just.
Yeah, I guess, because if it's there,
because the enemy will tear you up.
I mean, evil doesn't exist if you're there. I mean, if you're in contact. Okay, if you have no education on God, period, and you're brought into this world, you probably got a better shot than anybody else, because you're going to receive that connection straight up and you're going to understand it. Now, we've been hit with all this crap, dogma and everything else, and 3,000 religions, and who are we supposed to follow, and which God is the right God, and there's only one devil. Hello?
Yeah, and if you have the spirit, you're not wide open to. That's absolutely false.
No.
The only thing you're wide open to is the Father. You got,
no, and to me, just any knowledge of a God, I got to go there. And if you don't have it, yeah, you're protected. I don't see a problem. I'm not seeing a problem. I'm seeing send it love. Just send it love. And in the worst possible predicament, send it as much love as you can, and you'll be fine. I don't mean that. I feel like I'm sounding so, what's the word? I almost said it. Heartless. I am not. I'm just not. I just don't let that stuff into my life anymore. Once in a while, yeah, I hit it, and I'm still learning now. So it's not. I'm not saying I got it, but I'm close. I'm I'm just feeling the love. So what evil is going to come near love? None.
Exactly. And Paul said, well, Apostle Paul got jailed for truth. Well, now see, now you went from, I was talking about you're protected spiritually. Physically, sure, we might get thrown in jail. What'd Paul do in jail? Sang, praise God. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, physically, we may get stuff that happens. We're in a corrupted world. So yeah, stuff's going to happen. You speak the truth, world ain't going to like it. But demons, they can't touch us. If you're truly filled with a spirit, demons want nothing whatsoever to do with you. They know you will kick their butt.
No harm.
But yeah, man, influenced by demons, man can mess with you. Absolutely. But even when you're being messed with, if you are in jail or about to walk up to that guillotine to get your head cut off, like I said, bring it. I'll be eager to see what happens if they stand me up at a guillotine and are about to cut my head off for Jesus. I eagerly await to see what's going to happen because I don't think they're going to like the outcome.
That was deep. That was further than I would have went, but yeah. That was, I don't know. And that's my thing. I don't know. I feel like I have a connection. I've named it when I was younger. I didn't. I'm sorry. Before I was told I was Catholic, as I was a child, you read the book, so you understand the story about how I was told to hid behind the tire and all that, and I did all that. So that feeling I can talk to you about some tiny little things where that was always with me. My mother told me not to come back in the house until I found the dog leash. Now I'm like 4, and I'm walking around in the backyard going, it's got to be here. There's no way, it has to be here. I remember walking around, I can't go back in until I get the leash. And I said, and she told me to pray to St. Anthony all the time. And that's what I did. It didn't matter what I named it. That St. Anthony energy is the exact same energy that I feel now and that I felt then. And when I was behind the tire of the car and St. Anthony, please help me find this leash. And I kept go out to the front yard. Now I had a big yard out front and the grass was tall. And I was like, it's not out there. Just go out to the front. I walked right to it. It was all the way out there, right to it, grabbed the leash, brought it in. I was allowed to come back in at 4 years old. That was such an amazing moment for me. And it's the same energy that I'm in. I've always been in contact with, and I've always talked, and I've spoken with it. And I don't, it's maybe I didn't believe as much in my 20s and 30s, but I still spoke to it. I say I didn't, and I'm thinking back and I'm going, bullshit. I spoke to it. I talked with it. To me, I didn't know. It didn't matter what I was talking to. Jesus, God, it didn't matter. I knew it wasn't the devil. I knew it wasn't evil. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I was watching that. It's getting interesting over there. I mean, are we going to believe what Jesus said or not? That's what it boils down to.
Right, his teachings.
Jesus said, I have the power to overcome all the workings of the evil one. All of it. All his minions, all his crap. So if you're telling me I'm being arrogant because I believe that Jesus gave me the power to overcome all these demons, well, then I don't know what to tell you. I guess you don't believe what Jesus said. I'm not being arrogant. I just know what being the son of God means. We're supposed to be the sons and daughters of God. We ain't supposed to be walking around here scared of a demon or scared of what something's going to do to us. Yeah, the world's crap. It throws crap at us all the time. My cars break down. My heat source is out. Whatever. That's the world. It ain't a demon. And I do know what it's like if a demon attaches to one of my loved ones, because my daughter, the oldest one, was in and out of rehab a couple times and almost died, hooked on all kind of crap. But I also know that through my love, through her mother's love, through us doing what we needed to do, through me getting my head right and understand the power I got, I started praying for her, praying for Father to open her eyes, praying for Father to keep her protected, like I do every day with all my children and grandchildren and wife, like we all should. And then Father answers our prayers on their behalf. She's going to church now, she just told me 2 weeks ago. Blew my mind. So I totally understand what it's like if a loved one gets attacked with a demon. The problem is, do you understand how to get rid of it? Or do you just say, oh my goodness, they're being attacked by a demon, and run away? Take power over that demon and kick its butt and tell it it ain't allowed to be near your loved one. And you watch how quick that sucker runs away. That's what I'm saying. When you realize the true power you have with Jesus Christ and the spirit that's in you, that's why I say bring it, because they won't, because they already know their ass will be kicked immediately. And if not, it'll be kicked as soon as the Father's ready to kick it. But I'll be on it immediately, and it will be kicked. Guaranteed. Father doesn't lose ever to any demon. They're nothing but gnats, little mosquitoes that bug you. Start swamping them and move along. Quit letting them affect your life, because as long as you let them, they're going to be happy to torment you the rest of your days.
Go through it. Walk right through it. Anybody in here in this chat, anybody that's watching this has got it. They have it. So walk right through it. Excellent, man. You could have kept preaching. Well, you were getting passionate there, bro.
Well, when that happens, that probably usually ain't me.
And that's funny you say that.
It's the truth.
It is the truth. And I've caught myself on videos almost. I didn't delete them. I still have them, but I'm in a trance of some sort, and I didn't feel like I was in a trance. I just had my eyes closed. I just got comfortable, and I just started talking. And I knew I was on video, so I kept trying to talk. And a lot of times the words eluded me, and it just looked a little goofy to me, so I didn't put it up on the video. I was like, well, I just, and I was repeating all this stuff anyway on the last video that you haven't seen. I mean, so I took it and kind of broke it up, but it was a lot. I said everything I had to say in that, but it was just strange. I feel like I'm connected to that energy so much that, yeah, I'll go ahead and let it speak through me. I know nothing like Jesus did. So chill, not, and I want to say not yet, maybe not in my lifetime. I don't know. I'm not going to go there. I'm just going with it. I'm going with the flow here. I'm just, and it's happened to me. I've seen it in action. I've seen what you're talking about in the terms I wouldn't use, but why not? And I've seen this in action. I actually literally was like, okay, what do I do about this? And I'm like, no, that's not going to work, but okay, let me just see what happens. Did it for science. And, I was like, holy cow. I'm totally over the whole situation. It was like, it didn't even matter. It wasn't even like, oh, the situation turned out great. It was like, it didn't even matter. Another circumstance where the situation's not over yet. I was guided. First off, you know what? Guided. I've been using that a lot. And I feel like that's calm, gentle. It's like I could say, oh, I was guided. One of those forced vacations, I was guided to go outside. I walked down the street. I just walked in a couple stores that I was guided to go into. And one of them, I'm like, oh, you know what? I should do something for this person. And it's, my mother's birthday's coming up. And all of a sudden, all these ideas start hitting me where I had no clue. So I'm like, okay, let me take care of that and that. And by the time I got home, I'm like, wow, that was a whole series of crap that I would have ran into and just not, I would have been like, oh, I got to get this package out before Christmas. Oh my God. And it would have just been a mess. Now it's already taken care of. It's done. And my mother's birthday is 2 days after Christmas. So.
Yeah. And I do want to add on again with the chat. They do have free will. And that's exactly why I said my daughter was in a couple times in a halfway house and went through what she went through. Because, we can pray all we want and we can fight all we want for them. But like I said before, it's in the Father's hands. All we can do is pray for him to keep them protected as much as possible, keep them alive, basically, long enough for them to make the decision to find him, which she did. A long time later, and a lot of heartaches later, and a lot of praying later. But never give up. Keep praying. Keep praying for your family. They might just be able to stay along long enough to find Jesus. And another thing, and I mentioned it on Sunday, I think it was, Father's outside of time. So even if you got someone that passed away that you don't feel was right in your eyes and didn't make it, or whatever you want to say, don't stop praying for that person. Just because they didn't make it in the lifetime that we seen, they're still going to get to go see Father. They're still going to be judged. So pray for them to come to him then. We always think in worldly terms and, oh, he's dead, it's over. Why? He's not dead to the Father. Father's outside of time. He's still back there when that guy's alive or that girl. So even pray for those that have passed if you think they weren't ready. Pray for everything. Our prayers are so powerful. We don't even understand how powerful our prayers are. That's for others, because it's all about others. Pray for them. They can still be saved even if they're dead. I truly believe that. Father can do whatever he wants, and he wishes none would perish.
I want to say, yeah, it's about you, but it's about how you act with others. It's about how you react with others. It's about how you pray for others. It's about how you interact with others. But it still it comes down to you. I mean, you really only know what's going on in your head. But yeah, to be kind, yes, be kind to someone. Yes, help other people. For me, it still comes, how are you taking care of those people? How are you helping those people? How are you interacting or not interacting with those people? Sometimes you're not supposed to. But my thing is, it's going to be about your connection to spirit. And that's
It's all about our connection to whatever we want to call it.
spirit. I've called it spirit. I've called it the absolute. I've called it source.
I've
tried everything. It keeps saying, I don't care. I'm waiting for it to say, yeah, that's the one. Call me that. It's not going to happen.
And it won't. The spirit
It's not going to happen.
No, it will never.
I said, can I call you Jesus? Yeah, I don't care. Can I call you God? Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Can I call you universal mind? Sure, that works. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to call you? I don't care.
Don't care. Just call it. That's all it cares.
Just call it. Boom. There's a 2019 quote for you. Armor up. Just call it.
Just call it and then listen to what it's telling you.
Here's what you call it. Just call it.
Exactly. Just call it. Whatever you want to call it, it's going to answer. Father will always meet you wherever you're at. Always. I don't care where it is. I don't care if it's the middle of a ritual.
I don't care what you call it.
Just call him. We'll come right in.
What am I going to do?
Blow it apart, man.
You got to stay on with me another hour. I don't know what I'm going to do the rest of the night. Now I got all this energy.
Hey, it's still early. Heck. It's only midnight here. Hey, happy Thanksgiving on the east side.
Oh, it's Thanksgiving over there. It's I guess you got 12:03.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. See that?
What else you got, man? So you were talking about how you haven't been online the last few weeks?
Well, I quit doing lives. I was pumping out the videos. Yeah, I let my flesh get. I
just getting too involved. You failed. Bullshit. You caught it. You didn't fail.
Well, I failed for a couple of weeks. I brought way more stuff on our household than I needed to. But yeah, it's all better now. It's fixed.
Hey,
the minute I realized, well, like I always like to say, the minute I went to Nineveh, because I'm bad. Father knows I'm so thick-headed. I've laughed about it, joked about it on videos many times. When I finally decided to go to Nineveh, everything turned right back around. And he didn't want me not doing lives. I did. He wanted me doing the lives, but I fought it because I didn't want to. I made up all the excuses. I'm not supposed to be doing. Nobody's listening. Blah blah blah. All the stupid, stinking, thinking nonsense that we all do. I did it. Failed big time. Didn't do lives. And for those 2 to 3 weeks, Father made sure, pounding on
back to do lives,
thick-headed, that look, I want you doing lives. Stop this Why are you letting the enemy do all this to you?
Well, I ain't seen you on Scarab for.
I'm doing this. I'm sorry. I'll do live. And boom, the van was fixed. Everything that went wrong instantly went right. That's the way it works. That's why I'm saying I'm not perfect. I'm not saying a demon can't get me, but I'm saying as long as my guard's up and I realize who I am, a demon ain't even, they want nothing to do with it.
Right.
Yeah, put your guard down. Turn that light out. Step back over in the dark for a second like I did and watch how quick they flock to you and everyone around you. Oh, yeah, it's real. But I'm telling you, it's also real that we have the authority over them. Don't let them convince you the other way around.
Yeah, once you know that, you're good. I haven't seen you on Scarab in a couple of weeks. I was wondering what was going on.
Yeah, I cut them all out. Scarab and Hebrews. And I still did my videos. I still did my Wednesday Word premiere and still put up some Bible readings and some other videos. But yeah, I cut out
You going back on Hebrew and Scarab every once in a while or what?
What's that?
You going back on those channels every once in a while?
Oh yeah, like I said, Father made it. Yeah, I went back to Nineveh. I'm done. I ain't keep.
What's Nineveh?
It's a reference to Jonah. He was supposed to go to Nineveh. He tried to get out of it, got in the wrong boat. Boat capsized, got ate by the whale. Finally said, "All right, I'll go to Nineveh." Got spit out. Yeah, go to Nineveh. Don't. That's why.
I got a similar story.
Like I said, when I realized what was happening, I was like, "Oh, Father, I'm sorry. I'm stupid. I'm going to Nineveh. I'm sorry." And he laughed. I laughed. We all laughed because it's a little inside joke. Because I'm thick-headed, so I don't go to Nineveh.
I know what that means.
Yeah, I don't want to go to Nineveh.
You a Taurus too?
Nah, Gemini.
No.
I'm original bipolar split personality sign.
Mm-hmm. You still smoking?
Well, you got a cigar? One. I guess I'll relight it.
You got a cigar?
They're cheap cigarette cigars.
Oh.
$1.10 a pack.
I was like, now I want a cigar. I haven't had a cigar in a while. You know, you know what's really neat? I don't know how many people would be into this, but the 2 weeks in October of 2015, where the blood moon came out. Remember that? It was October, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was the year there was 4, Rick. Was it 4 blood moons or something that year?
Yeah, and I think there might have been the last one. I'm not sure, but I think it was the 15th. I can't be sure about that, but I sat there that whole night just watching this thing going, okay, it's coming in one way, going out the other. This is making no sense to me. But I just felt so much energy, and I don't even know what to tell you, man. I mean, the book described it the best. God, I want that so back so bad. And it's funny because I'll see that going on around me, and I'm like, God, I really wish I could go through that again, where I remember the evil leaving my body, and I could I'm like, wow, other people are going through this now. This must be a shift. I found in my archives, I've lost so much stuff on my computer. I found a picture of me within 2 weeks of that. It could have been either side. I don't know, before or after. It was after the impalement, after the orbs, after the stars communicated. Right before I went to Mississippi, and there's a picture of me sitting on a lawn chair, and I'm shocked that I'm dressed because I remember most of the time I was in a robe. I was like, shit, I ain't working. I get a voluntary layoff, collecting unemployment. I'm good. I was dressed, sitting back like this with a cigar and a drink, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, the shit I was going through, and I give a shit. I'm like, you know what? This is it. I might as well enjoy what I can. I mean, because there was a time there when I'm like, that's about when I started writing stuff down. I'm like, months have passed with some of those events. And I'm like, I got to start writing this stuff down. And I found the Mandela Effect site, and that's the thing. You know what? I just feel like if you go through this stuff on your own, I just feel like you get better. I don't want to use the word answers. Answers. I used answers. It's what it wants me to use. I use the word you get better answers if you come up with this stuff on your own. And that doesn't necessarily, and it could mean figuring out what a Mandela effect means. I mean, for me, the Mandela effect is it. Yo, physical reality is not right. Something's wrong. It's not the way you were taught. What are you going to do about it? And I love the analogy I give in the video that you haven't seen yet, where I'm going, hey, God gave us some Play-Doh. And we're going, yo, check it out. Look at the Play-Doh. What are you, Play-Doh? What are you doing? Whoa, what are you doing? We're not doing anything with it. We're staring at it. We're staring at the Play-Doh. And then it's like, now all of a sudden I start going like this. And I'm like, oh, okay, Play-Doh, we can do something with this. I love that analogy. That's what I think is happening. God's giving us a gentle nudge. It's starting to get cold in here. You know, it's -5. I just want to say right now, it's -5 outside.
Oh man.
I
Yeah, that
got the heat so far up, it don't matter. The wind comes in these walls.
that's why my house it's so leaky. But it ain't quite that bad here. My new wood burner's kicking butt.
I'm over here freezing.
It's only 41 here tonight, so actually,
41.
yeah, very nice for Pennsylvania. Unbelievably warm.
Everybody's like, I'd rather be cold because I can take I can only take so much clothes on. I can keep putting more clothes.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
even talking right. I
I
can't
know.
even speak. You know what I mean?
Rain on the plains helped in the house.
Rain
Welcome.
in the plains.
Yeah, and Paul said he has proof that if you're a good person, you'll suffer. So do I. Jesus told us they hated me, they're going to hate you. And that's my point. I don't know why it's so hard to
Send
understand.
that shit
Hey,
love. I mean,
that
and
isn't
look,
demons.
like I said, I could preach it, but
We're in a world controlled by the enemy. All this stuff is his, all this physical crap. So yeah, you're going to have a hard life, but that has nothing to do with a demon attacking you. That's the difference. I'm talking about our authority over demons, not our authority over material stuff that we ain't supposed to care about anyway. So yeah, you're going to have a very hard life if you're following Jesus for real. Trust me. But you're also going to have a joy the whole time you're having troubles. You're going to be happy the whole time stuff ain't going right. Yeah, I ain't saying it's going to be roses and sunshine. No, it's going to be the exact opposite as far as the physical stuff goes. But spiritually, demons can't mess with you.
I'm the one saying it's going to be roses and sunshine. Why can't I
Yeah,
speak?
yeah,
I need
that's
something to drink.
Suso saying that stuff. I
No,
know.
yeah, me. I'm all unicorns and rainbows, baby.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm all like, yeah, well, they're gonna hate me. I'm gonna suffer, and it's cool because who cares? The only thing they can take is the material stuff that I don't care about anyway. So they can't take my soul. They can't take my spirit. They can't take my joy. They can't take. They can only take it if I let them, and I do let them sometimes. But
Now, when you let them, that you know, that's it. Let me come back here. That's just a lesson for you. That's something for you to walk through. I mean, you're letting them for a reason. I think.
yep, highly possible.
Mm.
Highly possible.
So, what else you got going on, Ron? You back? You back online? I'll tell you what. I took my break.
Yeah, yeah, but I took mine for the wrong reason, like I said. But that's all right.
I want to talk about that. I deleted my original channel, 2,000 subs, 1,800 subs, and growing. And I was listening. I didn't know it. I was still talking to that. I'm talking to that. I don't like when I say talking to it. I'm not talking to anything. It's a feeling for me more than anything. But I kept feeling like it was just, I kept getting get offline, and I totally misinterpreted that. And I kept going back to chat, and I kept going. I wasn't doing videos, but I was going on a chat. I was watching a couple videos here and there. I'm like, well, I don't want to watch the news. All I had to do was stay off of YouTube for probably a couple weeks, maybe a month. And no, I took it to the point where I'm like, you know what? Screw this. It's funny. I was listening to it then and I didn't even realize it. It wanted me to stop just listening to stuff. But I was like, I'm not doing that. So let me delete my channel. Let me get rid of Google. That'll take care of it. And I did. I deleted the whole thing. And like the first 2, 3 weeks, the first week it was, I'm like, I kept wanting to go back, and I'm like, no, I deleted my channel. Why am I going to go back? And after about a month, I realized, because I started to pick up things. I started to realize a lot of the things that I'm coming into now that, yeah, it's great to get online and interact with other people and tell them, look, I experienced this stuff too. Great, get into it. But you're really going to come into it more when you really get by yourself, with yourself, and be true to yourself. Listen with your heart and listen to God. Listen to Jesus. Listen to Yeshua. Whatever you want to call it. I don't care. You know it's there. You know what I'm talking about. Okay? I don't want to even talk about what we talk about now. What Christians talk about this way, and Jewish people talk about it this way. Muslims talk about it this way. We all know it's there. We all feel that. When you really feel it, it's there. So tap into that. Ask it. Ask it. That was the thing I couldn't do. I was always there. When I was in trouble, I'd beg it. I wouldn't ask it. Begging it, please, I need this now. This is ridiculous. I'm not going through this. Okay, I'm over. I give up. And it gives me the Mandela effect. I was begging it. I didn't ask. I would say just ask. That's probably good enough.
Probably easier, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's so simple. It's so easy. That's all I hear is so easy. And it really is. And you know who gets in the way? You do. And I
Oh,
almost don't want to say your ego gets in the way, but your ego kind of gets in the way. But it's okay because that's kind of the personality you're going to be talking to is your ego talking to. I did it again. My feelings when I feel this information come in, it's a feeling that turns into words. That's my personality. Did that come out right?
yeah. Yep. I
And I'm
know.
not going to listen to anybody but myself,
Yep.
or God, which is what I'm doing to me.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
So, but yeah, I mean, and a lot of this I got from Kimberly-Lynn, just walking around with her. And I got into her course that she has. It's a thing on Facebook, and I'm just learning so much from this. And it's funny because a big part of it is not using your analytical mind, and a lot of the things going on, I'm using my analytical mind. But I get it. I get it. I got some banners here. Let's see, what do we got? There you go. You were talking about that earlier,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
interview.
That was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, you know what? I get on myself. I've talked to Cynthia Sue Larson and Kimberly-Lynn Anderson. What's with the three name thing? And um, both of them were like, "No, it was perfect." I'm like, "But I didn't shut the hell up." I was. I wish I. But all the information got out, and it was perfect. And that did make it. That did make it a good thing. And she's putting this book out on how to live the nonlinear life, which I didn't really get into a lot. But that's about um, just going about your day, listening to that inner self. Okay, we haven't mentioned that. It's the same thing. That inner voice, isn't that the same thing? Isn't that
Yeah.
just another term
Just
that we've been
terms.
using?
Yep. Just terms.
Listen to that inner voice, and we're walking around and not worrying about what time it was. Granted, she missed a flight to Canada. Hello, I mean, she didn't give a shit. She got happy. You know, it was stuff like that that was going on that was showing me, just go with what I'm telling you. Everything's fine. I woke up at 9 in the morning. I was gone. I was leaving. And something inside me said, make it right. Go say goodbye to some more people. And I learned more when the conference was over. I mean, the conference was great. The energy was off the charts. It started 2 days before the conference for me. I knew I was going to get there. As many things that tried to stop me, I knew I was going to be there, and I wasn't worried about it. I was like, yeah, it's going to happen. It's not a big deal. And you know, the conference was amazing. Meeting those people was amazing, and I learned more just hanging out with her for 2 days. Just not even, it wasn't even 2 days. I don't even know. Time didn't matter. And
Yep.
and
You could
and
say,
through my thick skull, I must be driving her up a wall I did, because it was just, I I just didn't get it at first. And then when I finally just stopped and watched, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. You know, and I just took that with me, and I've been going with it. And I have to stick with it. This isn't something like, okay, I'm a teenager now. I have to, you know, I have to worry about society and physical reality and getting a job and, you know, building a life for myself. No, I don't have to worry about that. And that's what stopped everybody then, right? Isn't that what stopped everybody? Time to be social.
yep, it's definitely time to be
I
social. It's time to get together.
want to ask you a personal question, Ron. This
Right
might be a
on.
tough one. I mean, you ain't on the hot seat or nothing, but um, did you ever rebel against religion? No, I should
Dude,
reword that. Against your religion.
I was a Satanist. I did rituals.
What?
I used to cut upside down crucifixes in my chest to bloodlet. Did I ever go against my religion? I wholeheartedly worked full fledged for the enemy willingly for decades. Been part of my, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Suso channel. And we're having our guest here. We're just going to start a whole new show now. Shit. So I
Oh
take
yeah,
it you
brother. I
read
know,
that.
and that's why I know the dark side. And that's another thing. When I look back, when this all happened, when I came back to the Father, when I friggin' got broke, and when it all happened, I looked back and realized that was all stuff that I chose. And this all goes to prove exactly what we're talking about. The Father uses everything, whether it was meant for good or not. I definitely was not working for the Father. I was doing real stuff. That's why I know it works. Out of body stuff. I did it all. Rituals, candles, summoning, bloodletting. Yeah, I did it all. Big time. But Father showed me when I came back, because immediately, I mean, you talk guilt. I willingly worked for the enemy for decades. I was so full. I mean, I just wanted, if there would have been, man, this could get so deep and long. But the moment
I got time.
and this is all figurative, this is all trying to explain in English what happened. So this didn't
I
physically
understand that.
happen. But when I fell on my face at the Father's feet and realized how a just God would have every right in the world. I mean, just how a just God could want to do anything other than wipe me out for eternity. Because I mean, if anything needed wiped out for eternity, it was me. That's the feeling I had. It wasn't coming from the Father. Don't get me wrong. But that's how I felt when I fell at his feet, just crying and realizing that I'm done. I I deserve to be destroyed. I get it. Please just destroy me. If there'd have been a lake of fire, I ran and jumped in it, because that's what needed. And then in a split second, and I mean, and this all, like I said, I don't know the time. I wasn't I don't know how long all this was going on. All I can do is describe what I felt, what was happening. And Father, and again, I'm using terms that Father looked at me, but he didn't, you know what I'm saying? He didn't
Yes.
look at me. But Father just looked at me and he said, but see, you forgot my son. And then it was over, dude. It was over. The guilt was gone. The shame was gone. I looked at Jesus, and because I knew his son, but I forgot him. I went to the other side, big time, for real, working 100% against them. And he said, but you forgot my son. That's already done. And I looked and this feeling, I mean, of agape love. That's why I say Father's love. Because when you feel Father's love, the real thing, which praise the Father, he let me feel, it was gone. And I realized I do have an important part. I don't deserve to die. Father didn't want me to die. It was like like I said, I can't describe it. It was like the prodigal son coming. He was just so happy that I came back. He didn't care about the fact that I did all that evil things for decades. It didn't matter. Jesus paid for all that. I just forgot. And then he showed me how. Now, see, all that you went through, now and I don't want to try to sound egotistical or pump myself, but he said, we're going to use that. You know the enemy. You know everything he does. You know how he works. You know how to stop him. You know all the dark crap that these people are doing. Now watch what you can do with that knowledge. Because when people come in a chat or start talking to me and they say, this is attacking me or that is attacking me, basically I know what's real and what ain't. You can tell me you're doing some type of ritual, but I'll know if you're real or not. I know the demons' names. I got them wrote down. I know which demons are in charge of what stuff. I mean, this is all awesome stuff. That's why I say, bring it. The demons want to bring it. They can bring it. I already know them. I already used to talk to them, and they know me. So, but they ain't gonna bring it no more because they already know I know exactly who they are, and they're done. But I don't even know how I get on this subject. I started wandering along, but it's just amazing.
I'm going to let you keep
going.
going.
I know all about the dark side. I know all about turning away. I did it big time, for real.
While you went through that,
my chest from when I used to cut the crosses in myself for bloodletting. I mean, demons want blood. If you're doing a real ritual, you're going to need blood, and they like your own.
So. Is that what that whole blood over intent was about?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I figured
bloodletting. It's all about blood. That's why
during your transition, can you now show the enemy love?
Well, the enemy.
Yeah. Do you think Jesus sends the devil love? I'll put it that way. I don't know what else to say.
He don't hate him. Father wants none to perish. He wasn't talking about just humans. Why do we see again? We want to put everything on. It's all about us. No, Father don't want any to perish, not even the ones that fell. He still loves them. He created them. He loves them. They don't love him.
But they don't bother Jesus, right?
Oh no, they can't. What do you mean by bother?
Fuck with them like they do with us or humans.
They can't mess with. No, they don't even go near him. That's my point.
Why? Right, because he's what? Pure love. I mean,
well, he's pure love, pure truth, pure forgiveness, pure grace, pure everything good.
Pure joy.
Pure joy, pure happiness, pure.
That's my word, joy.
Pure everything. Everything
joy.
Good.
So that can't go near that stuff. So, because Jesus is joy, Jesus is love, Jesus, whatever. And he told us, look, you got connections to that, man. You got connections to that joy, that love. So these things can't touch you either. They're not real. They're not even there.
No,
it's like watching the news.
Exactly. They only touch us when we let them. Their only ploy, and it's
Well, you let 'em.
the same ploy they've had since the beginning. Liars. All they can do is lie and get you to believe it. And the minute they get you to believe it, you're right back in their court. So if you want to believe the demons got power and you don't, good luck. You're going to get your butt
Don't
kicked.
give them any power. Don't give them any energy. We shouldn't even be talking about them now. We should turn our back on it because it's not there anyway.
Who cares? They've lost. They're done. It's over. They are done. We just got to, like I said, our only enemy is right here. When you look in the mirror, that's the only enemy you got. You. Period. Nothing
Yeah,
else
I'm learning that.
is an enemy. Everything else
Yeah, I'm learning that.
is the world, which we know is bad because we know who's in charge of it. But the only enemy we're supposed to be fighting is us. Fix ourselves.
Yeah, it's about you.
It's all about us and fixing ourselves. Period. That's our job, to become like Jesus, as they put it, or whatever terms you want to use. Our job is to be the Father, be Him on earth, bring His kingdom to earth.
And
That's our job.
I think it's
Jesus
so much.
went about preaching the kingdom of God. And He said, my kingdom's not of this world. If it was, we'd be fighting physically. You'd be wiped out. But our kingdom ain't of this world. Our kingdom's of a different world. And that ain't how we fight in our kingdom. We fight in our kingdom with love and prayer and forgiveness.
Yes.
Our minds can't conceive it because we've been indoctrinated with a kingdom being a warring thing that takes over, and not ours, not Father's kingdom. Oh, it's going to take over, but there's going to be no war. It's going to be over. When it happens, it's over. They want you to believe it's a big fight and a big war and revelations and horns and trumpets and flag and do it again. No, that's over. That's now. We live it. When it happens, when we all realize what's happening and do what we're supposed to be doing, it's over. And the enemy knows it. That's why he wants us to be divided. That's why he's got all these indoctrinations. That's why he's all about separation and arguing what your theology is beyond my theology. Hey, it ain't my problem what you believe. Believe whatever the spirit you think you're led to believe. That's between you and the Father. All I can do is believe what I'm told and say what I think I'm being told to say, and let the pieces fall where they may. It don't matter to me whether you agree, whether you like me, Father loves me. So what do I care about anything else? You know what I mean? You're muted, brother. Can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted up. We couldn't hear a thing you said.
Where's that
There
button?
you go. There you go.
It was perfect too.
It looked like you meant that stuff, but I couldn't hear a thing.
Said, I like you, Ron.
Well, yeah, and I'm not saying I don't appreciate when people tell me that I may have helped them or something. And I'll tell them right away it wasn't me anyway. But yeah, we want to be liked and loved. But when you realize the Father loves you, like I said, if you could just for an instant feel that the real love of the Father, you would understand that. Hey, you'd understand why Jesus said you're going to be hated, they're going to hate you, but you're going to be happy and you're going to be joyful because
it's not going to matter.
What do you mean? I'm going to be happy if someone's calling me bad stuff. Our normal minds can't comprehend that, but you understand it when you realize, hey, Father loves me, and as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and showing him I love him back, who cares what people think or whether they agree with you? I ain't out here trying to teach anybody anything. I'm just trying to share stuff that I've learned and that I believe. And if it resonates with you, awesome. I've always said it and I'll say it again. Take it to the Spirit. I know it's going to back me up because I know what spirit I come from. So,
and that spirit,
say to the Spirit,
that spirit has been I've let that spirit in for the last couple of weeks. That child spirit, that same spirit that I had as a child, the same spirit that I carried with me through life. That when I meditate, I felt like I was speaking with. It's here now. I am connected to it now. I am um, going to, I want to get to that point where, like, look, the way Kim lives her life, I'd love to get to that way. I'd love to be able to get to that point, and I see myself getting to that point. I see myself already there, actually. But there's a curve here. I'm learning through it. I'm pushing through it, and I want to get to that point, but I'm getting there. I mean, I see, and it's so funny because I feel like I'm going to come in here sometime and go, damn, I already know like what I want to say for the next 2 hours, so why bother? It's like I could say it in a sentence. I'm like, I'm done. I open my mouth and I'm like, there it is. It's like I can't even finish the sentence. I can't finish the words because I already get it. I get that. It's an adventure. I wake up and it's an adventure. I'm like, cool. What's going to hit me now? Let's go. I want to get through this. I want to keep pushing. I had a friend of mine back in the 80s. There was 5 of us walked around and just doing conspiracy stuff. They're all dead in this timeline. But because not only actually no one's still with me. He confirmed that there was always 6 people in the car when JFK was murdered, but I get it. We were in different timelines, and he does get it. And I think that's hysterical.
I'll be right back, brother. Got to grab
Yeah,
a cup.
go. I'm sure I could. I'm sure I could chat. Maybe I'll do a call out. No, I really feel like I'm in communication with this energy that I was when I was a child. If you hey, Carla Red Pill's in there. I know she read my book, right? Who else in there read my book? Belinda, you got it. Look, when I was a child and I did that story, look, I only did that story to fill in pages. Okay. I didn't realize it was actually going to have an effect on what's going on in my life now. I wrote that I'm like, look, I got a 60-page book telling about my experiences. I don't want to elaborate. I want to elaborate as much as I can to express what I was going through, but I don't want to build on that. I'm not Hollywood. I don't need to create stuff on top of it. So I got a 60-page book. What do I want to do? Well, in the beginning, I'll explain the Mandela Effect and what I think it is. In the next few chapters, I could talk about some spiritual things that happened in my life. And then I'll get on to the Mandela Effect. Made it almost a 100-page book. um, I Mad Pieman. I wear my heart on my sleeve, dude. It's the way I've always been. Don't care, whatever. I went up to my mother one time and said, "Look, I'm worried about what this person's going to think about this." And she looked at me and went, "Who are you?" This is long before Mandela effects. And when did you start caring about what other people think? And it hit me. I was like, boom. That was it. And this energy, I've called it energy source. God, I mean, I've labeled it all these things. Look, there's no difference. I did this exercise where I thought back to that time I was talking about earlier about the leash, and that's what made it come up. I did this exercise where I thought, hey, what was that feeling I had? And I sat back and meditated, and I went through the motions of me walking out in the yard, and when that thing spoke to me, it didn't talk, whatever it was, a feeling, that was the exact same energy that I feel right now when I go out and touch it. It's the same exact thing. And I'm here now with that. And it's so much more amazing. I wake up in the morning, I'm ready to go. What's going to happen? Okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I get downstairs and something happens and I don't even know what's happening. 5 minutes later, I'm going, oh shit, that was a test. I was all ready for it. It spit me right in the face and I missed it. That's what's happening. That's why I'm like, I ain't there yet. I'm ready for it. I get excited. I put myself in that mood. I'm like, hey. So, I don't even know how much this matters anymore, because memories are the past, and the past does not matter. You got to look forward, stay in the moment. That's my biggest message right here. Every time I want to feel that, I get myself in the moment. And I'm here right now, and it gets so exciting. I'm like, holy shit. Why aren't I feeling this way all the time? Why? Because I'm not in the moment all the time. I'm oh my God, I can't believe I just put that on a text. Or, oh shit, what's my mother gonna say about that? Ron, come back. Ron, come back.
I'm back, brother. I'm back, brother. Had to make a pot of coffee. I went to get a cup. Man, there's
You made a whole pot?
Oh yeah.
I'm almost done with this. I'm like, it's not really, it's not doing what I needed to do.
Yeah, I got a effort.
Make the question, I don't know, but I wish I remembered where I was going. Hey, that was from that. I don't even know what the hell I just said. What was I saying? I mean, that energy is there, man. It's here now. I feel it, and I'm living it, and I feel joy. That's the word that wants to come out, joy. And I've said in videos, you can be happy all the time, but not if you're watching a bunch of TV programs. Look, I'm still trying to get through Grimm. Okay, I'm just saying.
TV off a long time ago. I mean, I watch Survivor, and I like the Gordon Ramsay shows, like Hell's Kitchen and the Master Chefs.
Though some of those shows are funny. I get to watch the ones where.
And the main reason I watch Survivor is because I like to see the agenda the enemy's pushing this year. And boy, this year Survivor, they're pushing it all. Because Survivor,
do you see?
You can really keep up on what's happening with the enemy through
Survivor. The Italian wants to come out over here. Hey, what are you doing? Why do you give that shit energy? I don't understand that. It's it's so funny because
you're not giving it to it. That's the point.
But you're paying attention to it.
How are you going to pray against what the enemy's doing if you don't know what he's doing? You got to know.
The enemy's not doing shit if you ain't giving it.
He's doing lots in the world. I ain't talking about me. I'm talking about on the worldly level.
Okay, but we got to get everybody going. Hey, devil can't touch me. Can't touch this.
Right. We got to know what we're supposed to be praying against. That's our job, is to pray, to bring his kingdom here. The only way to bring his kingdom here is to fight the darkness and bring the light. So,
the light's already here. Why you keep bringing the evil back in? Forget about it. It ain't here, man. This is here. Okay, and you did say you don't agree that we're in the new earth already, and that could be the situation, because I already feel like I'm here. And we could be in two different timelines speaking with each other over this technology.
Who knows? Who knows?
I'm like, all right, because
put the Father in a box. That's why I have no problem with lots of theories, because Father can do whatever he wants.
What did you say? Now I heard that earlier, and I wanted to catch it. Father in a box. What was before that?
Don't put Father in a box. Don't think he only does this or only does that or only.
Okay.
We constantly try to do.
So put Father in the box and open it up and know anything can happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, you don't have a box, so anything goes.
Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah. Schrodinger's
cat.
Put
Father in the box, and when you open it, anything, multiple, infinite. It's not one or the other. It's not going to be dead or alive. Okay. It's going to be infinite. It can be anything.
Yep.
You grabbing that?
Anything.
It was like the hardest thing for me to grab. It was the first thing I grabbed.
Yeah, exactly though. It's the truth. I mean, and that's why argue about stuff? You don't know. And that's why I've said many times, if you tell me the Spirit told you something, and even though it may be something it hasn't told me, the last thing I'm going to do is say, Spirit didn't tell you that, because first of all, that's how you blaspheme the Holy Spirit. I don't want no parts of that. So we're on different paths. The Spirit may need to reveal something to you that it don't need to reveal to me. because it may not affect me in any way of what I'm supposed to be doing.
Hey, I got what you were supposed to reveal to me, by the way.
What is it?
Oh, early on in this conversation. I could not wait to have this conversation so I could correlate your terms with mine and combine it into one. What a joke.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What we were talking about before we went. Yeah. I know
Spirit told me, yeah, go ahead, give it a shot. And you know what it taught me? It don't matter. It doesn't matter. I love your terms. Go for it. If that works for you, boom. I don't care. I love it.
You wherever you're at, wherever. It ain't never mattered.
And I love you, Ron. Just want to say that.
Hey, I love you, Zeus.
I just said that to the millions of people watching now.
I love talking to Zeus. I've said it many times, and I mean it. I ain't just blowing smoke.
I know. I get that sometimes. It's weird, but I don't get it from a lot, which brings me to people talk about background people. Have you heard that term?
I mean, like NPCs or
NPCs.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm starting to love you too, Awaken and Active. That's Michelle. Hey, Michelle. I'm like, you changed your name, girl. Come on. Are you a Mandela Effect? Now, what was I going to say? Oh, I shouldn't have looked at chat.
It happens every time. I think that's a common thread amongst us, though, too. We lose our thoughts so easily. I notice a lot of us do that. I think it's a pretty common thread we haven't investigated yet.
When we're talking and all of a sudden we're like, shit, what was I talking about?
Yeah, it only takes a split second and it's like, wow, what the heck?
I have a theory. You want to hear it?
Sure, I love theories. Most
of the shit we say don't matter. I think it's the analytical part that I'm learning about that doesn't, it's necessary. Like the ego is necessary. Like the analytical part is necessary, but to the point where instead of trying to figure out a problem, just let shit happen. And then, if you need your analytical mind or if you need your ego, you can go ahead and tap into that. And just kind of go with whatever source, Jesus, God is saying to you. Is that energy, that feeling. And go with that throughout your life. And, I need my analytical mind. Let me go with that. I need my ego. Let me take it. I mean, that's how I'm seeing it. That's how I'm feeling it.
Yeah, and that's right. You were talking about NPCs. And Happy Feet Gal says, what's an NPC? That means like a non-player character or something that's looking human but isn't really human is what most people
say. I put it out. If you wanted to get an idea, I'll throw you towards a 2-hour video. My vlog 1, I'm walking through a park and I'm saying, yeah, I'm going to go to a ball game. I go to ball games. I like the ball games. But now I go to ball games and I'm like, God, I don't even know if half these people are real. And I didn't even know back then, that was 2016, that I was touching on that stuff. And I've come to realize it's not that they're NPCs. They're not real.
Right. Yep.
I really feel like, and if we're going to use the terms that I resonate with, I really think they're in a timeline so far removed from where you're at that they're just background, and you're background for them because they're real where they are, and wherever that you are, you're a background. You're an NPC for them, so it doesn't really matter. If you do interact with these people, you need to treat them the exact same way you would treat everybody. Can I coin that, or was that taken?
Give it a whirl. You might be able to coin
it. Just keep it coming.
I mean, I agree. I don't think I think there may be people who's totally given over to the enemy, like I was. I mean, I was basically an NPC when I was doing what I was doing. I wasn't in control. I mean, I was getting what I wanted. I was doing things for worldly things. I was seeing results. But I was basically an NPC. I had no empathy. I had no nothing. I didn't care about who I was hurting or stepping on to get what I wanted. I wasn't worried about the dude who's knife. When I had a knife to his throat, I didn't care about that guy. You know what I mean?
Right. Did you? So he was an NPC to you. Did you read Crowley's book?
The book of, yeah. Oh, yeah. A long time. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend reading it.
Don't even put it in your perception.
Yeah, it's.
But there were some things in that kind of made sense. I mean, I'm saying not on an evil or good. I haven't read it.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. It works, but it's evil. I mean, it's the wrong side, but it absolutely works.
Okay. What I'm getting at is it took some pretty good terms and flipped it. It took some.
That's what it's all about. Everything's
real truth and flipped it. Thank you.
Everything's upside down and backwards.
It took truth and flipped it to make it sound like, what the fuck? Of course. So there are a lot of parts of that people are going, oh no, that's the devil. Like, okay, like, no, I said that backwards. Like I do. Hey, that sounds good. That sounds beautiful. That sounds like God. A lot of that's in there.
They truly, I mean, some of them, it is their God. It's just the wrong one, you know. And there's plenty who are worshiping the wrong God. They think they're worshiping the right God, but they're not, because they don't know the right God, the right Father, whatever you want to call him. They don't know the right. They're being lied to. That's like it gets back to what I said before. It's all about lies. If he can get you to believe the lie, he got you. If he can get you to believe he's God. But see, when you look at the main tenets of Crowleyism, do what thou wilt. We all know that. That's what it was all about.
That's exactly the line I understand or know.
The exact opposite of what Jesus said. Jesus teaches us, do what he will, not what I will. Jesus' most famous. Not my
but we said it before. If you're doing what you want and makes you happy, that's what God wants.
Depends on which God.
I'm talking about the God. What do you mean? What
you're not doing Father's will, whether it makes you happy or not, you're still outside of his will. So you're still open to a bad.
Okay, if you're doing something that's not harming yourself or others and you're happy, God's happy. You said yes before when I said it that way. I didn't mute you, did I?
Oh, I muted myself. Sorry. No, but that's what I'm saying. If you're not hurting another or yourself, well, then you're not outside his will.
And you're happy. Okay, bingo. Okay, boom. And you're happy. I mean, I want to throw the joy in.
Right. So you can't be outside his will if you're not hurting someone else or yourself, because his will is not to hurt others and yourself and to work, and to love him.
Others and yourself, and you're doing something you want to do that's going to make you happy. Is that not do with that will whatever thing?
Well, yeah, it's do what thou wilt if you're doing it and affecting others as you're doing it. See, it sort of boils down to sin. Man calls sin a lot of stupid stuff. We've been indoctrinated with a lot of lies about sin. Like a lot of people would think, hey, that dude's sitting there smoking a cigarette. Why are we going to listen to anything he got to say about Jesus?
Now I want to light up.
He's a sinner. You know what I mean? I mean, that's how far people go. So, and it's the same thing. If you're not affecting another,
that's not what I want to light.
Then you're not sinning. You're not outside of his will.
We're almost over.
Now, if his will is, if the spirit tells you you probably shouldn't smoke anymore, and you still continue to smoke, now you've went outside of his will.
Let's get personal.
Truly told you.
Let's get personal.
Sure.
You know what it told me? Not this. Told me to slow down on the drinking. Slow down. I said, no, I'll stop. It didn't stop on the drinking. I need to get away from the alcohol. Where's Mad Pyman? Hey, I'm putting my heart on my sleeve here, bro.
And that's what I mean. The spirit's only going to work on one thing at a time. Yeah, maybe I'm going to have to quit smoking someday. But right now, my anger's a bigger problem. You see what I'm saying?
You?
Spirit could care less.
You're a puppy dog, dude. You wouldn't. Oh, please, you wouldn't hurt a fly.
I try. But believe me, the old man is not a good man.
I want to meet your wife now. I want to talk to her. Put her on. Put her on. Let's go.
Oh, if I put her on, yeah.
Well, will she spill the beans?
I was not the right guy. I'll spill the beans. There ain't no.
Oh man,
I ain't ashamed of what I was because I know what I am now. It don't
so
bother.
it don't matter. Well, we don't need to know. It's the past. We're not
Dude,
going in the past.
all over.
We're moving forward.
It's all over now. I ain't never going back. Ain't no way. Never. But yeah, we're still all human. We all get frustrated, as Michelle said, and we all, we still battle our flesh daily, but don't let it get control. Take it captive. Stop it. Get back in the Father's will. He don't want you hating anyone. He loves everyone. So just love them. No matter what they're saying about you, no matter what they're doing to you, just love them and move on. Pray for them. Help them come to the light. Show them Jesus. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Stop fighting over stupid worldly stuff or doctrines that you think you're right and he's wrong. And, man, it's crazy. It's exactly what the enemy wants. Keep doing it. Keep playing. Keep losing the war and not even realizing you're fighting it. Go ahead. Keep going. It's about over. You'll all be sorry someday. You'll realize you were fighting for the wrong side. You got to remember, Jesus said, "Get away from me. I never knew you." He wasn't talking to people who weren't quote unquote Christians. He was talking to people that thought they were following Jesus, using his name and doing all kinds of miracles. And he still said, "Get away from me." So, yeah, even if you think you're on the right side, you might find out you ain't got a clue.
What you've just lined out for me, and Ron, I swear to God, no disrespect, but what you've just lined out for me was like a Hollywood movie.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? Thank you. I mean, what I see is these people that are watching this channel now, and these people that are in chat. It's not letting me talk. I need to word this properly. What I see is I see a Hollywood movie that just keeps progressing to better things. Was that okay?
Yeah, what I
Not
call
like the way I was going to word it, boy. Wish I could explain to you how I feel right now. To me, what you were expressing is ups and downs. Doesn't have to be that way. To me, it can be continually getting better. Because what you described to me, it totally came in like, oh, that's a Hollywood movie. Emotions, up and down, up and down. And I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be that way. You can be joy all the time. I mean, look, I'm not there yet. Okay. I'm not, but I'm saying it is possible. Why? How do I know that? Because I've been programmed the other way. I've been programmed to be fucking miserable all the damn time. Not now. Thank you. And not for the last few years as I've been, Mandela Effect and growing and learning. I don't need that, and neither do you. And God forbid if anybody is still like that. I mean, yeah, if you guys are having a tough time with this Mandela Effect stuff, jump into it. Go through it, and move to the next step. Okay, and to me, that's having that spirit in you, talking with spirit, get to know Jesus. Whatever you got to do, whoever, I don't care what you want to label it. We've been through that 100 times. I mean, speak with it, ask it questions. And you want to talk liaisons and lower, you can ask almost anything questions. Ask the Mandela Effect a question. What are you? What are you, Plato? What do you want from me?
never be afraid to ask questions, because Father loves to give answers. And that's why, again, it comes back to like terms. You can't put terms and labels and stuff on it. That's what man does. That's why 90% of the Christians think half the world's lost, because they use different terms. Whereas I can see where they're on. I know you're on the right path. I've said that years ago.
Thank you.
You know, in our private chats.
Coming from you, that means something. I don't know.
I ain't worried
My
about
Catholic upbringing.
I know, even though he's not using what terms I use. Who cares? I know you by what. Again, it's what comes out of our mouth. I can tell by what you're saying, and the fact that you feel it, you believe it, you know what I mean? You're fine. You understand right from wrong. You understand what Jesus taught, whether you understand he's the one that taught it or not.
I understand there is no wrong. Yeah, I wanted to go into this big spiel about, hey, okay, let's just assume Jesus was a real person. I'm like, oh my God, my channel's getting shut down. Hey, pretend you're Jesus. Do you want to be praised? Or do you want the message that you were trying to tell people to get through to them? I mean, that's what you want. You want the message. Get the we love you. We praise you. Okay. Get the message. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm backing up from that.
That's exactly what I've been saying forever in my videos. Get to know the Father, get to know the job he's got for you, because he got one for you. And
yeah, he does.
That's what we're supposed to do.
Got one for me.
We're not supposed to talk it. We're not supposed to preach it. We're supposed to do it.
What are we doing now?
Exactly.
We're preaching it and we're talking it.
Well, yeah, but we're doing it. We're doing what Jesus would do. Jesus would talk. You know what I mean? Jesus would teach if it came to that. Jesus would whatever. But we're doing it because he wants us to. You know what I mean? At least I am. I never wanted to talk to people. I never had a lot of friends. I was not a people person. Didn't enjoy talking in front of people. None of this is me. None of it. It's
called an introvert.
Right. Big time.
That's what I'm doing. I mean, that's what I'm doing here, because I'm only talking to this camera.
My first friend was probably 10th grade till I had a real, what people would call a friend, human. None of this is me. So that's how I know, at least for me, I'm doing the Father's will, because this sure ain't my will. Like I said, I slipped 3 weeks ago and went back to my will, which was not doing this.
Yeah, same thing happened to me. How weird is that? Same thing happened to me with the getting offline, and I'm lucky I had most of the videos on. Still, I mean, the end of the last few are all scrambled up. I mean, I'm going to have a heck of a time right now. I think I have 7 vlogs of my 2016, 17, and 18 videos put together, ready to go. I think I put 3 of them out. You know, I'm like, I don't know. Do people want to hear this? You know, I put them out in the middle of the night because I figure some people are going to come in and chat, or put them after one of the bigger shows, you know, Scarab or Shane, Unbiased and On the Fence. And I might put something on after he comes on. Not for any reason. I just figure, look, I don't have this, I don't have the same crowd they got. I just don't want to interrupt. Let them people do their thing, you know. Let everybody do their thing. I'm a small, tiny channel. I love it now. I got 230 people, maybe. Maybe. And before I had 1,800. You know what's funny? I still have the same amount of people watching me live. I have the same amount of people that are watching the videos. The most I get is 300. Average is maybe 100. And I have just over double digits when I go live or do something like this. This is bigger. This is a whole 10 people bigger because you're here.
Ooh, I'll bet that's why. Could be. They got to get rid of 8 videos.
We got 2 tiny small channels here speaking some truth like they wouldn't freaking believe. And you know what? Everybody that's getting it, everybody that's listening to it is supposed to, and they're the ones that are supposed to get it. I'm not worried about the 1,800 people that I supposedly had, when 5 of them, 1,000 of them probably weren't even real. I mean, I don't even, who am I talking to? You
Yep.
know? So it's all good. But I went through that same crap, deleted the whole thing, brought it back. I'm back. I'm new. And it's, oh, that random thing. I'm not being random. If something hits me where I'm like, oh, that's random, I go for it. And that's what I didn't get at first. To me, it was like, oh, should I make a right or a left? Well, I would normally make a right. Let me make a left. That's not exactly what it was. I mean, to me, now it's more like when something strange pops up right in my face, it doesn't mean run away from it, or go the other way. It means go ahead and check that out. Let's do something new. Let's stop feeding our past mind the crap that we already know over and over and over again. Let's do something new. And that's what I'm saying with this. Anybody that has noticed the Mandela effect, let's try something new instead of finding more Mandela effects. That's for the new people coming in. We've advanced beyond that. We're beyond chasing Mandela effects. What's next, man? We know the earth ain't what we know. Shit's wrong or not what we were told. I don't want to say wrong because nothing's wrong. Everything's perfect. So let's do this. What's next? To me, next is getting in touch with that spirit, with that interaction, with that emotion, with that feeling, with that child energy that I had back then that is here now. Get in touch with that. I'm still learning to make that channel clearer because I get messages. I get, it's like I'm not messages, whatever it is, it's a feeling. And I'm like, oh, get off of YouTube. Perfect example. Get off of you. This was before all this was hitting me and this was coming in. It was get off of YouTube. It wasn't delete your channel. I don't have that clear path yet. I do. It's already there. I'm just not listening properly. But to me, that's the next step. Get that channel. Start living your life like that. Like you got a friend. Like you got an invisible friend. Well, I'm going to use that.
Oh yeah. You got an invisible best friend.
You have your invisible best friend, and do with that will. Don't fuck nobody up.
Yeah. Do what he will. Don't mess nobody up, I would say. But
there you go. I mean, that's fine too. I dig it. I mean, go for it. I mean, because and with all of us doing this, taking that next step, and we got people going, oh my God, the Earth's not a ball flying through space. Come here, buddy. Let's talk. What's it about? It's about your perception. Okay, let's not worry about what you can't. Okay, let's not worry about what you can't affect. Okay. Oh my God. I swear to God, it used to be Rice Krispies. Those characters were smaller, and they were. By the way, they got real big on me.
Yeah.
Before I threw that box out, those characters on that Rice Krispies this big, and then they went to this big. It's the same box.
I noticed that too. It's like, whoa, dude.
What the heck?
That one pop get huge.
And that's the other thing I'm kind of bummed about. I threw out my entire Mandela Effect collection.
Wow. Holy smokes, dude. You had a lot.
Yeah, the only things that I kept were the things that I found throughout the house that were Mandela effects. They're up there on a shelf. I mean, and some of them I'm not even affected by. I'm like, look, they were boxes of cereal and candy and some books. I didn't throw them out. I donated the book. I gave the books to the book place down the street. And like anything I could give away, I gave away. But I mean, the trash I tossed. And I'm just like, that would have been really cool now to have all that shit behind me. But the Mandela effect was step 3 for me. Okay. Step 2 was flat earth. Step 1, I don't even remember what the hell it was. Okay. Step 1 was something. Step 2 was your perception, flat earth. Step 3, physical reality is Play-Doh and you can mold it. Okay. That's what it's telling me right now. It's Play-Doh, you can mold it, but you got to work with it. Okay, it's not you necessarily. It's not your ego. Okay, it's not your ego doing this shit. It's who you really are, or what you're really made of through with this energy coming through this. It. That's not mine either. I can't even call it it. That's how I feel. We got this, and we need to make it grow. And now's the time, man. Now is the time. And I'm not saying stop with the Mandela effects. People are going to be at their own stages, man. This is not. It's not like it's all coming in at once. People are at their own stages, so let's help them up a ladder if we can. But at some point, they got to come up with some stuff on their own. You got to do it yourself. I mean, there's some things you need to just do. You might not have to, actually. I just know I can already tell for me doing it myself. Boy, in 16, instead of bouncing Mandela effects and running around looking for others for 3 years, 3.5 years, I think I really feel like that was a stepping stone. I could have just, but no, because it's perfect the way it worked out because of where I am now, where I could show people, look, same with you. I mean, maybe not the same. I haven't cut myself. Although I am going to get a tattoo, have I mentioned?
Oh, I got lots of tattoos, dude. I got all
Yeah.
kinds of demons. And
I'd say show them, but we can't see the shit.
yeah. Well, I could turn the light on. Oh my goodness, that's horrible.
Wow. Oh yeah, shut that light off. No wonder. No.
It was one of my favorite demons.
What's that one?
Sort of like a wolf demon. He was one of my favorites. And then I got let's see, can you get that's still the wolf demon. He's got a skull in his hand. I got to figure out how the camera's working here. Hold on.
Yeah, look, I don't want to see the one on your ass. I'm just saying.
Ain't got none there. Where the heck is the skull demon? Oh, he's clean around that side. Holy smokes.
Did it shift on you?
No. I'm just okay, there he is. Now how can I get him to the camera? My arm just don't bend that direction. Let me stand up.
This is an exclusive.
Get some light on him. There's the which way we going? There's a skull demon.
There we go.
He's like a skull.
Oh, okay, I see it. Nice.
Like coming out of your arm, and it's made so it looks like he's coming out of here. Up here, I got the Black Label Society Ozzy. He's flipping everybody off. Make sure you can see I got Ozzy giving everybody the bird front and back. Lightning, the whole Lucifer type stuff. Yeah, I got lots of tattoos, man.
Yeah, I'm just working on one, but thanks. I wasn't planning on doing a sleeve, but you know what? Random's random. He gets what he wants. It gets what it wants. Yeah, I said it in a video about a year ago. I said I would absolutely never get a tattoo. And I keep telling you, I was telling, do something you wouldn't do. Stop doing something you always do. I mean, I was saying that, and as I'm saying that, I didn't realize it then, but it's hitting me now that it was it telling me, look, what would you never do? What would you never, ever do? And I would never, ever get a tattoo. Why? Because my mother totally programmed me to never get a tattoo. She said she'd disown me. I think I was 8.
Yeah,
I mean, that's stuck in my head, man. I'm like, I don't want to be disowned. I'm not going to get a tattoo. And then that's when it hit me. I'm getting a tattoo. And not 6 months ago, my mother says to me, hey, don't be mad, but I got a tattoo. I said, no, don't worry about it. You're not the same mother that bore me. I said, you shifted. I shifted. I said, my real mother, sorry to say. And people are like, how can you say that? Where my mother existed at the time when I impaled myself, that's where she is. I died. This woman that I'm speaking to now is so much more laid back and totally accepting of my beliefs and understandings of things and questions them. I mean, like, okay, Aunt, you think you want to come back? Sure you don't want to go to church and take pills like everybody else? I mean, that's the stuff I get from her. So, I don't know. It's all good. It cracks me up.
Yeah. And again, and a lot of people would feel shame from their tattoos or whatever. I mean, I got them in a rebellious state. I was worshiping and doing what I was doing. And actually, I sort of like still having them because
Not
I can
me.
look down at any time and remember where I was and how far Father's brought me. So they don't bother me at all. And when I hang out with my biker buddies, they accept me a little more because, I look like
No.
one, even though I ain't them
I
anymore.
see.
They're great conversation starters with people who don't believe, and like,
No, I say somebody said something to me. Threat. You have spiritual scars for each one, each tattoo you have. You have conquered a spiritual something in your past, something spiritual you conquered. And I was like, well, shit, I'm screwed. I got nothing. So I don't know. I
I
thought
could
that was
relate
really
to that. I mean, I don't know if I would
nice.
say that, but I can relate because, like I said, I look down and look at that demon I conquered and that demon
There you
Father
go.
conquered for me. The Rock Man. I've seen every Ozfest. I've went to so many concerts. Man, it's just amazing where I was and where I am.
Well,
It's
we'll
mind
talk
blowing.
about.
It can only be the grace of the Father. I mean, and people that know me, my wife, my children, that actually know who I was and where I'm at now. It's got to blow their mind
Hey,
because
you want to hear? You want to hear something negative that happened to me that wasn't negative? It was very positive,
sure,
and I didn't realize it until now because it's totally what it means. I went to a Ronnie James Dio concert.
I've seen Dio a couple times. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was a little shocked when you were standing next to me in this leather jacket with chains and shit.
Could have been.
Did you ever see him in Philly?
Oh. No, the first time I seen him was at Monsters of Rock in Germany. That'd have been 83. And then
Nice.
I seen him, where did I see him over here? Was probably, I usually go to Pittsburgh, so it was probably like the Coca-Cola Amphitheater. It's an outdoor thing outside of Pittsburgh.
I like
Starlight
Rush
it used to be
Theater
called, now it's Post Gazette Pavilion, but that's probably where I seen him, I would think.
there. Yeah, well, I was out at the Spectrum, I believe.
Yeah, I did see Sabbath at the Spectrum.
Never seen Sabbath. Um, not that was never on my list anyway. God, I think it was Pink Floyd, missed them. Aerosmith, missed them,
Seen Aerosmith. Yep.
and ELO, missed them. They were the three groups that I was like, God, I wish I saw those.
Seen Aerosmith and Hershey when I was home on leave from the service, actually. It was pretty cool. I was 80, 82, I think.
So I go to this Ronnie James Dio concert with my buddy. All right, you two, cut it out. I'll put you out in the snow.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will.
All right. Well, Buttercup, I won't put her out in the snow. Prince, he'd love it. he likes going out there. I go to this Ronnie James Dio concert with my buddy, and um, I'm standing there, and I'm just like all into it for a second. I just start looking around, and I'm realizing everybody's bikers. I mean, just typical bikers, and they all got this going on, and it's and Ronnie comes out, and it's I don't even know where it was in the show, but he comes out and he's like, "Children of hell, come to the depths of hell with me," or some shit like that, and they're all going, "Yeah!" And I went, "Oh, fuck that!" I said, "I ain't," and I literally said, "Oh, fuck that! I'm not doing that. I'm not." And I sat down. I'm still getting into the music and whatnot. I'm not going out there. Do you know I came out the four slashed tires?
Wow.
4 slashed tires.
That's
And
crazy.
my buddy went, I'm taking a bus. I'll talk to you later. And he left. And I'm sitting there in the middle of the Spectrum with not a car in the parking lot. You know how long it takes to empty that place out?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting there on a cell phone. Wait a minute. Is that possible? I was on a cell phone. Is that possible?
When was it?
Late 80s.
Wow. That's, that wouldn't seem possible.
Wait a minute. No. I got to rethink that, and I got to talk to my buddy because I know he left. But I remember standing next to the car on the phone calling AAA. You really want to go out? You think so?
Yeah, I seen Queensrÿche too, Robin. I've seen about everyone. You name a
Come say
band,
hi, buddy.
80s or 90s. Oh, yeah, get him. Prince is like, what? I told you I didn't want to be on camera. Now you pay.
He's on camera now, buddy. Yeah, you're on camera, Prince. Say hi to everybody. All 4 claws are in my back, representing all 4 tires.
There you go.
All right, go ahead, go. Just do it. Oh, stop that. Stop
I
that.
got to knead you first. Got to give you a little kneading.
Giving me some loving.
Yeah.
Prince, oh.
There you go.
That's so good, boy. Holy shit. Yeah, that's my boy, man. I lost him. And I want to tell you, when I called that psychic and she told me where he was, in a place that I already nixed off, he couldn't be, I got him back here. And when he finally got acclimated, he stuck his head in my chest and purred like you would not believe. This cat don't purr. He talks. Ma, ma, ma. That's all. Isn't that right, buddy? I'm talking about you. And when I came back from the Idaho conference, it was 5 days, maybe 6. I think it was 5. He purred like you wouldn't believe. And every night, when I go to bed, as soon as I get into bed, he jumps up in between my legs and he sleeps in my legs for a few hours till I move around. He gets low. You didn't like the white rabbit there? He just knocked the white rabbit down, that sucker. The white rabbit was just sitting there. He knocked it down. What was that, Prince?
He's like, get out of here, rabbit.
He's my boy, man. I need to talk to God. I just talked to Prince. Shit.
Yeah, work.
Well,
Father will meet you wherever you're at.
split a tree, lift a rock. Is that right?
Yep. Lift up a rock. I'm there.
It must be like 2.5 hours because he's like, God, where's my food? He expects.
I do probably got to get going soon. Heck, it's almost 1:30 and I got to get up early and head to the Dodgers. Well, not early, but.
Well, it's not that late for me, but I just found out that they might be getting me up at 4 a.m.
Ooh.
I got to get down there, mop that place, make it look sparkle, like we've never were closed, and make it look like it's been open.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've been closed since November 3rd.
Wow.
Yeah,
a little bit of dust to dust up and stuff.
Well, I mopped 2 days ago, yesterday, and today, and it wasn't mopping; it was just getting the dust up. That's all that was. So I'll be doing that. I probably should think about going to bed early tonight. But whatever.
Ah, cool. Robin said she seen Roger Waters' The Wall in 2012. That might have been the year I seen him. Man, what a show. Roger Waters was Floyd.
And you know what's funny? To me, it was Gilmore, but whatever.
That's always been the big debate. But,
really? Well, see, I wasn't a fan
over Gilmore or Waters.
I was not a fan from the beginning.
Oh, I was.
In 2012, it's so funny. That's the date. I actually went through their library and I read about them. And Syd Barrett died of an overdose and David Gilmour took his place. So how's that possible if Syd Barrett did a couple albums after he died? And we never heard that before. And then he went and visited Pink Floyd while they were doing. No, not that one. It wasn't Dark Side of the Moon. It was one before that or after.
Animals?
No. Wish You Were Here.
Oh, that's the one. Oh, I love that song. That's some. Shoot.
What's that album called? Because that's the one he visited them, and they didn't even know it was him. Okay, Prince, there's got to be 2 feet of snow outside. I'll let you out. Come here. I'll let you out. I ain't leaving the door open. Enjoy. I give him 2 minutes. I give him 2 minutes. I give him.
Okay.
Putting the timer on him now. I got 11:25, 11:27. He's barking at the door.
There you go.
Especially at -4. I don't like that.
Yes.
Coming back in now, any chance? Yep. He came back in.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was
I don't want to leave him out there. No, buddy. Come here. You're probably freezing. Let me warm up those ears.
Echoes. Echoes. Is that the one? Could be right, Bob.
No.
Not Echoes?
Anybody putting it in there? It's not Echo. I think Echoes is live.
I don't think that's it either.
What album is "Wish You Were Here"? Is that the name of the album? "Wish You Were Here"?
No, I don't think.
You know what? I got the world at my fingertips.
Yeah, we're sitting here in computers trying to figure.
I know. Duh. How do you spell discography in this timeline?
Yeah, who knows? Should be DISK or DISC.
I'm kidding. Wikipedia. Oh, here we go. Pipers, Saucer, More, which the album More never existed for me.
More? What?
Here we go. Their first album, 67, The Pipers at the Gates of Dawn.
Yeah.
That's with Barrett.
Yep.
68, A Saucer Full of Secrets.
Yep.
And I think Barrett was on that and Gilmore was on it also, but they never were on the album. They didn't do the same songs or something. I don't know. More, from what I understand, is all Barrett. But that did not exist for me in 2012 when I checked it out. And then we got Umaguma.
I never heard of More either. That's weird.
More.
Never.
It was released in 69, dude, and I only came across it. I love it. I love the songs on it. I can't think of them now. There's a couple songs on it. I'm like, wow, this is Floyd. This is awesome. When I studied it, I didn't study it. I was just checking out all their albums and reading about their history. More was not involved. Umaguma, I thought was weird because I didn't feel like it was really an album. It was like some songs and some other stuff. Adam Hart Mother. Not one of my favorite, but if I just want to get psychedelic, I could say Medley. Okay, I could hear a lot of Dark Side of the Moon in Medley. That was there. Obscured by Clouds was there. Yeah, the album's called "Wish You Were Here," brother. It was Dark Side of the Moon in 73. "Wish You Were Here" in 75. Animals 77. And The Wall was 79. And anything after that, they all kind of split up. The Final Cut. I think Gilmore did 2 songs on that. A Momentary Lapse of Reason. Your Boy wasn't even on there. Or Division Bell. Endless River is interesting because I think it was the keyboard player that had a bunch of recordings and he died, and Gilmore and the drummer took that stuff and created the Endless River, released in 14. Which, quite frankly, I thought it was released in like 16, 17. Wow.
That's pretty wild.
Well, there's a lot of shit going on with Floyd with me anyway. Yeah, I mean, I listened to The Wall.
Me too, obviously. I didn't know it, but
I listened to The Wall, and it's like, frick, they say breaking the wall. They say, you are breaking the wall. They're pointing right at me while I'm listening to the words. You're breaking the wall. Okay. I listen to it right in front of somebody else, and they hear brick, and I'm like, wow. And I'm like, and I look at them and I go, Yanni. like they're gonna do something. All right, I got all these screens up. Am I actually still on?
Yeah, we're still,
Yanni.
I think we're still here.
Mhm.
Oh, dude, brother, I do got to call it a night, I think.
All right, we'll let you go. Prince wants to talk anyway. I could.
We can't wait another year or two until we do this again.
No, we won't. And hey, everybody, thank you very much for coming up. Armor Up is about to give a shout out to the room.
Yeah, we better give a final shout out at least. It's what I do best. We'll just go from
That's not true, by the way.
So if you want shouted out, speak now or forever hold your peace. We got Robin Keneally, Mad Pyman, Awake and Activate, Rain on the Plains sporting a wrench, Susan Casey sporting a wrench, BB sporting a wrench, True TNT, scroll up a bit, Go Kart Bob, Awake and Activate, Scooter Orr, Jeff Ray, scrolling, Happy Feet Gal, Dakes 1973D.
Did you get Belinda?
We got BB with a wrench, yep.
You got Robin? Yeah.
Got Robin Keneally, yep.
Okay. Just checking.
Mike Bauman was here. Cool. Always good to see Mike. He's sporting a wrench.
I got 20. I don't even know who I gave wrenches to. At first, it was, hey, go ahead, Armor. Punch something in there so I give you a wrench, bro.
I think I got one.
Do
one.
You? All right.
Agent K Gent Love. Still scrolling, make sure I don't miss anybody. Get screwed a ways up.
What about Boom It? Mike? I don't know how to pronounce your name. I just say hi on chat.
Yeah, I said Mike Bauman.
Mike Bauman. There you go. I've heard that name. I hear that on Scarab's channel. I don't even know who he's. I didn't realize he was talking about him.
Hey, I think I got everybody. We'll give it a little delay and wait and see. But
you got all thousands.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Father's love and blessings. And just take some time, get to know the Father, and enjoy life. That's what it's all about. But enjoy it the way He meant for us to enjoy it, not the physical crap, but the actual each other, family, friends. That's what it's all about, not worldly stuff. Love each other and pray for each other. That's all that matters. Really. Do that and it'll be a lot better. We'll handle the rest if you don't want to get on board, but at least do that. At least love each other and pray for each other, and you'd be amazed at how you could affect the world.
Yeah. At the very least, love yourself. See where that goes.
You got to start there. You got to.
Ronnie, thanks a lot for doing this, man.
Oh, man,
we got to do this again.
As always, brother. I truly do love it when we get a chance to talk, privately or live. It don't matter.
Well, I'm gonna have to email you my phone number. Don't be giving it out. All right, man. Thanks a lot, Ron.
All right,
everybody. Thanks a lot for coming in.